morning po.
This is a continuation of the public panel interview by the Judicial and Bar Council of candidates for the position of Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals, the Court of Tax Appeals, and the Sandigan Bayan. To start the proceedings, let's have first the Centennial prayer for the courts.
Almighty God, we stand in your holy presence as our supreme judge. We humbly beseech you to bless and inspire us so that what we think, say, and do will be in accordance with your will. Enlighten our minds, strengthen our spirit, and fill our hearts with fraternal love, wisdom, and understanding, so that we can be effective channels of truth, justice, and peace. In our proceedings today, guide us in the path of righteousness for the fulfillment of your greater glory. Amen.
Amen. Your Honors, again, good morning.
Morning po.
Good morning.
The panel of interviewers for today are the following. The Honorable Justice Jose Catral Mendoza, Chairperson of the JBC Executive Committee and regular member representing the retired members of the Supreme Court.
Good morning.
The Honorable Judge Duribio Jr., regular member representing the private sector.
Good morning,
The
Jan.
Morning po.
Justice Noel Jimenez, regular member representing the Academy. And the Honorable Judge
Morning po.
Franklin J. de
Morning,
Monteverde,
Jan.
regular member
morning.
representing the Integrated Bar of the Philippines.
Morning po.
Morning. Good morning.
The candidates for interview this morning, Your Honors, are the following. Nlrc Commissioner Gina F. Senate Scotto and Judge Paz Esperanza M. Cortez, both are vying for the position of Associate Justice of the Court of, excuse me. Attorney Gina Scotto is vying for the position of Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals and the Sandigan Bayan, while Judge Paz Esperanza M. Cortez is an applicant for the position of Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals. May I request the candidates to please raise your right hand so that I can administer the oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this public panel interview by the Judicial and Bar Council?
Yes, I do.
So help you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your Honors, the first for interview will be Commissioner Senate Scotto, and the first to interview the candidate will be the Honorable Judge Franklin de Monteverde. Judge
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Ed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Good morning,
Morning.
Commissioner Escoto.
Good morning po.
Yeah. You are applying for posts at the Court of Appeals and the Sandigan Bayan?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, Your
but
Honor.
yes, but if I remember correctly, we had interviewed you sometime last year.
Yes, Your Honor.
When was that?
More than a year ago, in November. Sometime in November, Your Honor.
Now, are there any significant changes in your credentials now?
I continue to be a member of the National Labor Relations Commission, Your Honor, and I continue to teach at present at the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila. So basically, there are no significant changes, Your Honor.
None.
Except that, Your Honor, that I still continue to apply for the positions of Court of Appeals Associate Justice and Sandigan Bayan
Okay, sige.
Associate Justice.
Okay, Commissioner.
Opo.
Now, you also applied for the then vacant Court of Appeals Presiding Justice post. but later on you withdrew the application prior to the interview because of some pending cases. What are these cases, and what is the status of each of these cases?
Your Honor, I want to inform the council that my withdrawal was primarily because of some confusion.
Okay.
Because I want to inform you that last year, I already received a recommendation made by the IBP
Mhm.
recommending the dismissal of the case filed against me and the chairman of the commission. But while I was trying to uh, finalize my application papers and documents, and when I applied for a clearance, I was issued a clearance stating that there is still a pending case against me.
Mhm.
So that was the reason why I decided to withdraw my application, because instead of continuing my application with this on the side that there is still a pending case, what I did was to clarify with the IBP.
Mhm.
And because of the pandemic, Your Honor, it's so hard to go to different offices. It's so hard to communicate. But finally, I was able to get a certification that there was the case was already recommended for dismissal. So there
Mhm.
was a some confusion with the IBP. That was the reason. So instead of vying for the position, I opted to clarify with the IBP, because I know that if you have a pending case, you will no longer be considered.
That's
So,
correct.
yes, Your
Uh-huh.
Honor, that is why I opted to clarify and secure a clearance from the IBP. And with the thought, Your Honor, that since it will not take long that the JBC will choose the candidates and it will be useless, I think. I don't want to waste the time of the council. So that is the reason why I withdrew. And
So
then
what's the status now of this case?
the case that was referred to the IBP is now pending with the Supreme Court, Your Honor. And the other one, which was not referred to the IBP, is also still pending. And
Still
Your
pending.
Honor, yes,
Okay. Let's go to these cases one by one. No? There are three cases pending. One refers to AC number 11436, filed by a certain Alona Tangpos Contridas
Contreras.
on July 7 of 2016. What is the status of this?
Your Honor, that was the one referred by the Supreme Court to the IBP, which was already recommended by the IBP for dismissal. And Your Honor, the final decision will come from the Supreme Court. So it is still pending. And I am hoping, Your Honor, that with the recommendation of the IBP, it will be eventually dismissed. And I hope it will be soon.
Probably you are referring to Office of the President DC case number 18A-012, which complaint was referred to the NLRC Board of Inquiry, and the NLRC recommended for the dismissal of the complaint.
Uh,
I think you are referring to this,
that is
not
another.
to the not to case number 11436.
Your Honor, there is another case which
Yes,
was
yes. No, no, let's go first to this. Let's settle this one. 11436. Anong
the
status?
Contridas po, Contridas.
Contridas. Anong status nito?
Yung kay Contridas po, Your Honor, that's the one referred to the IBP. And the IBP
That's
already,
another one, no?
opo.
Okay.
And then there's
Sige.
another one po, yung
Hindi,
Urbano.
ito muna.
Okay.
Anong status nito?
Pending po,
Refer to the IBP and it's
there
still
was
pending
already,
with the IBP.
hindi po, there was already a recommendation. It
A
was the
recommendation for the
recommendation for
dismissal,
dismissal of the case.
but
It was,
there is still no resolution arrived at. Only a recommendation for the dismissal.
it was,
Ganon.
it was already the board, Your Honor.
No,
There
no,
was
no, no. Just answer me directly. Is there has there been a resolution dismissing the complaint?
Meron po.
Meron.
From the
Okay.
IBP po, from the IBP.
I-submit mo yan sa kuha namin, ha? Sa ORSN.
Thank you very much po, Apo.
Okay. Let's go to AC number 11769. Filed by, itong sinabi mo, Jerome Urbano et al. Pending with OBC as of January 3, 2020. Ayan. Anong status niyan?
Actually po, it was referred to it was filed at the Office of the President, Your Honor. And then the Office of the President referred it to the Board of Inquiry of the National Labor Relations Commission.
Okay. Yan.
And there was already a resolution with a recommendation, Your Honor, from our board to dismiss the case. It was already filed.
Recommendation pa lang.
They already resolved it.
Mayroon ka na, may copy ka na ng resolution?
Opo. I will ask for a copy from our BOI
You
po
also
to certify. Opo.
Okay. You also submit the resolution dismissing the
Opo.
complaint, not the recommendation for the dismissal of the
Opo.
complaint. Okay, clear tayo dyan.
Opo.
Okay, so let's go to your medical history. How fit are you medically, Commissioner?
I am fit to work as a member of the judiciary, Your Honor, because with respect to my age, I just turned 52, and still I am
still young.
yes po. But compared with other lawyers, they are already taking maintenance medicines. Why they as soon as they reach the age of 50. In my case, Your Honor, I am not taking except for vitamins, Your Honor.
You are not taking any
maintenance medicine po, wala po.
None whatsoever
Wala po.
in any of these findings, fasting blood sugar mo, cholesterol, and SGPT. High ang findings.
Yung SGPT po, if you will notice, it was higher last year. So I followed my physician's advice just to exercise and reduce weight. So I was able to reduce it. And in other cases, Your Honor, I was just advised to continue with my exercise and proper diet.
You mean to say that this result was done from the lab test taken last year pa?
Hindi po, Your Honor. I have the result this year. I submitted it, and there was also a comparison, Your Honor, with the result last year.
Now, meron ditong certification fit to work ka July 3,
Opo.
2020.
Opo.
And in this result, in this lab test, it was found out that you have a high FBS, cholesterol, and SGPT.
Your Honor, it may be high, but not too high that will require me to take maintenance medicines, Your Honor.
So, wala kang medication.
Wala po.
That is the
blessing.
Truth, coming from you,
Yes po.
Kasi as against the result will be vis-a-vis what you said. So we will take your word for it as of the meantime. And you are physically and medically fit to work. Okay?
Thank you po.
Sige, Commissioner. Now, you are presently a commissioner of the Nlrc?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how long have you been there?
More than 5 years na po because I was appointed in 2015.
Okay. Before that, what was your work?
I was the presiding judge sa Regional Trial Court po, Branch 78 in Morong, Rizal.
Okay. Now, why did you transfer to the Nlrc from the judiciary?
Your Honor, I saw the opportunity of a promotion, Your Honor. And I don't think that will be a point against me because, in fact, if you get appointed to the Court of Appeals, your knowledge in labor law will be very, it will contribute much to the disposition of cases in the Court of Appeals, Your Honor.
But prior to your appointment to the judiciary, you were a labor arbiter of the NLRC from 2003 to 2010 for a period of 7 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so despite the number of years that you were with the NLRC, you opted to be appointed or to apply for the judiciary,
Yes, Your Honor.
correct? And what was the reason for that?
Your Honor, I see that as an enhancement of my skills. I see
Okay.
that as an opportunity for me to render justice uh, in some other fields of law and not just limited to labor, Your
Mhm.
Honor.
Okay. And now, Commissioner, from 2010 to 2015, when you were still the presiding judge of RTC Branch 78 at Morong Rizal, while you are explaining the reasons for the transfer, I just would like to be answered with this question in order to satisfy me. Are you not happy with the NLRC?
At present po, I am happy with NLRC, Your Honor. But of course, if there is an opportunity for me to work on a broader field, Your Honor, then I will take that opportunity.
Okay. Now, in 2018, you took some trainings about basic and intermediate sign languages.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was it all about, and for what reason?
Your Honor, it is a sign language for the deaf mute, intended for the deaf mute, Your Honor. My reason is this. I've come to realize that uh, there was, because of the encouragement provided by the law for the private sector to hire, engage the services of the disabled, especially the deaf mute people, I was encouraged to take that course because I know that time will come, whether it is here in the National Labor Relations Commission or in the regular courts, people with these disabilities will come for reliefs, Your Honor.
Mm.
So I am just anticipating that. And of course, Your Honor, if I do some readings with the International Labor Organization, released by the International Labor Organization, and the international community is encouraging the private sector to engage the services of these disabled people. And in fact, Your Honor, for the government sector, the law requires that at least 1% of the workforce must be with these disabilities. So I am just anticipating that.
Okay. Referring to your or going to your PDS, why is it that your husband did not sign it?
Ay, oh, I'm sorry, Your
PDS,
Honor.
PDS.
Ah,
Huh?
my personal data sheet.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, personal data sheet. It has to be signed by your husband
Your Honor, I
because of
will.
the waiver. Waiver.
Yes, Your Honor. I can ask him to sign, but maybe because I was doing that during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic, Your Honor, and it was
You
just
did
due
not want to
to
touch his hand, para
no,
to
it was
sign it.
no, Your Honor, it was just due to inadvertence. There was no intent on
Okay.
that, Your Honor. But I can ask him to sign
Yeah.
that, Your Honor,
Have it signed
anytime.
in by him.
Yes,
Have it
Your
signed.
Honor. Opo. Opo. I'm very sorry po.
Okay, sige. Now, let's go to your SALN. From 2015 to 2017, uh, did you use the proper SALN for these periods? Kasi
Your,
there were blank spaces, several of which na you didn't properly fill those up.
Your Honor, we've in accomplishing the SALN, Your Honor, we just accomplished the forms being given to us at the office. So,
Mhm.
what I accomplished are the forms provided by the office, Your Honor.
This was true for your 2018, but your husband has had signed it sa 2018.
Okay, Your Honor.
Kindly go over your SALN and Uh,
Excuse po, Your Honor.
oh,
I will
yes,
got
yes, yes,
apo.
yes, Commissioner. Kindly go over it and find out if your husband had signed the sullens.
Your Honor,
Oo.
uh, can I explain why in some cases he was not able to sign?
Okay.
Your
Briefly,
Honor,
briefly, Commissioner.
yes, Your Honor. I remember that during his stint at Globe Telecom, Your Honor, most of
Mm-hmm.
the time he will be asked to go to different provinces
Mm-hmm.
for some hearings, Your Honor. So that's the reason why he wasn't able to sign those SALN, Your Honor.
But there has been a lapse of time already. So,
But I can ask him to sign, Your Honor,
oo.
anytime po.
Oo, sige. Yung mga sullens mo na hindi na napirmahan.
Apo,
Oo. Okay. Yung sa kwan, let's go to your 2014 and 2015 sullens. Between the two periods, there was a substantial increase in your net worth from 24,500,000 plus to 28,900,000 or over 4 million plus in 1 year's time.
Your
Can you
Honor,
explain this?
yes, Your Honor. Uh, the increase I can attribute the increase, Your Honor, to the fact that every time there is a promotion granted to my husband, there will be a substantial increase in his income and other benefits, Your Honor. Because uh, Globe, can I mention the company, Your Honor?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Because Globe Telecom has provided not just for a big amount of salary, but also for uh, vehicles, free gasoline, unlimited hospitalization.
Are these vehicles not owned by the company?
Uh, for a certain period of time, Your Honor, it is owned by the company. But after a
Through a
certain
car
period,
plan? Through
they
a car
don't
plan?
pay for that, Your Honor.
Yeah. Uh, After a certain period of time, they will be asked to purchase it.
Yes, Your Honor. But if you will notice, I declared a vehicle here worth only 10,000 pesos, an
So,
Altera.
why the increase of 4 million plus? Kung
Be-
mga ang worth niya, kwan lang, mga 10,000.
no, Your Honor, I'm referring to all the benefits received
Uh,
by my husband. All the
okay.
because there will be a big increase in the salary if you get promoted, Your Honor.
What is the position of your husband now?
Your Honor, he is not he is now a consultant of Globe,
Okay.
GCash Mint, and some other companies because, Your Honor, he severed his relationship last year with Globe as a regular employee. That is
So,
why he is now.
consultancy na. Pumasok na
Opo.
siya sa consultancy.
Yes, he was constrained to do that, Your Honor, because he ran for election.
Uh, but for the Salens that I am referring to, he was still a permanent employee of the company.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Commissioner, does a leader need power in order to succeed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mm.
Yes, Your Honor. Because without the power, how can you require your followers to do something, to undertake their duties and responsibilities? That is the reason why, Your Honor, a leader has to have powers.
Okay, given that, how can a leader avoid being corrupted by power?
Your Honor, uh, as soon as you enter the government service, you are provided with a job description, Your Honor.
Yes, okay.
In addition, Your Honor, to the job description, there is an oath, Your Honor, that you will not succumb or you will not engage in corrupt practices, Your Honor. Just live by the provisions in your job description and in your oath, then you will no longer engage. You will not succumb or engage in corrupt practices, Your Honor.
Is your statement absolute? Does that hold true?
As far as I am concerned, Your Honor, I can tell you, I can say that I just practice all those
You
provided
are
in the
referring
subdivision
to
and in my
you are
office.
referring to yourself, Commissioner, but my statement is generalized.
Well, Your Honor, if just in case everyone in the public service will just do the same, then
Okay.
there will be no corruption.
Okay. Sige, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
What is your concept of competence?
Your Honor, my concept of competence is not just limited to what you know now, but you keep on educating yourself, you keep on uh, uh, getting more skills needed to do your job more efficiently, Your Honor.
To the extent that you become meticulous in the performance of your work.
That is included, Your Honor.
Uh,
Because if you are not meticulous, the staff will just follow how you conduct your office, Your Honor. So you must be a good leader.
Now, being meticulous, what happens if at any time you fail to achieve your goal? Your deadline was not met because of this meticulousness. How would you react to it?
Well, Your Honor, as a group, Your Honor, at the office, is that what you are
Yes.
referring?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, of course, of
Apo.
course.
Number one, Your Honor, I need to call the attention of the concerned staff. And if necessary, I need to call the attention of the whole group, Your Honor. I need
Okay.
to inform them of this problem.
Uh-huh.
There is a problem, so we need a solution. We will try, Your Honor, to check if there is or there are justifications why there were problems along the process. But of course, I need to take responsibility to that. I need to recognize that there was delay or there was error. I need to take full responsibility.
Do you not get irritated by it?
Well, Your Honor, I don't think I will get irritated because that is part of this. That is part of how the work will go through. We cannot avoid at some point some errors or some delays, Your Honor. But what is important is how we prevent it, how we recognize it, Your Honor.
And how is your personality, Commissioner? Do
Um,
you are you open to criticism? Do you take it as that face at face value, or do you get angry when criticized, particularly destructive ones?
Your Honor, uh, I don't get affected with those criticisms negatively. But of course, Your Honor, I take those seriously. What I mean is, I need to check if there is something to be criticized against about me, Your Honor. I need to check that, and I also need to check the facts and circumstances that prompted that criticism, Your Honor. I will not uh, react uh, hysterically, but I will try to do my part of knowing how to improve or how to prevent it, Your Honor.
When you get angry, Commissioner, do you keep it to yourself, or do you blurt out what you feel?
Your Honor, I don't immediately call the attention of the concerned person, Your Honor, because I still have to think, Your Honor. The other person might be correct, Your Honor. So I need to check first all the facts and circumstances. But of course, Your Honor, if I think it will help me if I confront the person, then I will request for a meeting with that person. But I am not a violent person, Your Honor.
Yeah. So chances are you will keep the the emotion, the problem to yourself
Yes, Your Honor.
to send to such a situation that uh, you seem to have a pent up tension within you, di ba? Kasi tinatago mo lang eh.
Not really, Your Honor. What I
Uh,
mean tinatago, that is
yung
my
hindi mo
immediate.
biniblurt out, hindi mo sinasabi kagad. Tinatago mo muna. And it takes you for a long time
I
before uh, facing the problem.
no, Your Honor.
Mm.
I just need a short period of time to think, to consider the facts and circumstances. I don't need such a long period of time for that, Your Honor, because I know how to handle myself, Your Honor.
Now, my last question, Commissioner. What is it in you that can convince me to include you in my shortlist?
Your Honor, as long as I don't get appointed, Your Honor, I will continue to apply.
Okay,
That
you're still
is,
young. Uh,
yes, Your Honor.
uh,
That is what I have, the courage to keep on applying to these positions, to any of these positions, Your Honor.
okay, that was my last question, Commissioner. Um, Before I forget, kindly submit those resolutions na hinihingi ko, ha?
Thank you very much po.
To support what you said, okay?
Opo, thank you very
Okay,
much po.
thank you. Thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you po.
Okay,
Thank
sige.
you, Honorable Judge De Monteverde.
Thank you, Attorney Tali.
The next interviewer is Honorable Justice Noel Jimenez Tiham.
Thank you, Attorney Tali. Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning po, Justice.
We interviewed you a year ago, I think.
Opo.
Can you tell us why you wanted to apply for presiding justice of the Court of Appeals? Were you confident that if appointed, you could lead the court as presiding justice?
Yes, Your Honor. That is the main reason why I applied. Uh, because I don't want to confine myself, because I believe that with my age and experience, I can also lead the administration of a certain office, Your Honor. That is the reason why, aside from the main function of disposing cases, I am confident that I can already lead a certain office, Your Honor.
On hindsight, had you pursued your application, had you been nominated, and had you been appointed as presiding justice,
Y-
what would you have done differently to improve the Court of Appeals?
Okay, Your Honor. Um, Number one, Your Honor, to improve the Court of Appeals. Now, what I shall first do is to have the people or the justices meet, Your Honor. I need to know, aside from what are provided in the news or in some reading materials, I need to know what are the problems, Your Honor. I need to know how we can expedite the disposition of cases, Your Honor. I need to know how we can make the reliefs provided by the Court of Appeals more accessible to the people, Your Honor.
To the best of your knowledge and information, was it your impression that the Court of Appeals have not yet devised a system of expediting resolution of cases?
Your Honor, I know that from the first level court to the highest level court, there is a uh, there are so many programs and progress provided by the Supreme Court, such that there was already a big improvement as regards the disposition of cases, Your Honor. But, Your Honor, uh, we should not stop from there. In fact, just like what happened with just like what happened with this pandemic, we have to be responsive to whatever situation will come our way, Your Honor. So we have to be responsive. We need to we need to check more, determine more what are the possible problems so that we can prevent. I think, Your Honor, at this point in time, we need to be more preventive with the problems, Your Honor.
The Court of Appeals is composed of about 69 justices with different personalities, idiosyncrasies, and their own ego. If you become a member of that court, will you be a magistrate that would simply blend with the membership, or is there anything innovative that you would like to accomplish as a member of that court?
Your Honor, as a member of any court, Your Honor.
No, I'm talking of the
Ah,
Court of Appeals.
okay, with the Court of Appeals, Your Honor, you need not simply blend with all the members of the court. You need to be innovative, Your Honor.
So
You need,
what innovations will you introduce as a member of the Court of Appeals?
Your Honor, I don't know if this will just be acceptable, but I took this from some judges in foreign jurisdictions, Your Honor. They told me that in their jurisdictions, disposition of cases is different from those people in charge with the disposition of cases are separate or different from those in charge of the administration of the office, Your Honor. So that in that case, those people in charge with the disposition can focus only on the disposition of cases, and those in charge of administration will focus on the administration of cases of the office, Your Honor.
So is that something innovative?
Yes, Your Honor, because just like Your Honor,
So you're suggesting that there will be magistrates who will devote their times to administration purely, and magistrates who will devote their time to adjudication purely? Is that what you're saying?
no, Your Honor, what I'm saying is this. Those magistrates will devote their time to disposition of cases only. And then we will have the managers who are more competent in managing an office to devote their time to the management and administration of the Court of Appeals, Your Honor.
Of course, there are executive officers within the court, and
Yes, Your Honor.
each magistrate has his or her own judicial staff head who runs the office. Now
Yes, Your
let's go to your sal N. You are a millionaire. I will not state publicly the amount. You're a millionaire. Is this solely your network, solely from your income, from your earnings?
Your Honor, aside from my income, my husband is also a lawyer, Your Honor.
I'm talking of
Yes.
network that is declared in your SALN, is that solely your income, your earnings, your network? Does it
Um,
include as well that of your husband?
I included the income of my husband, Your Honor.
But how come? So you're not filing a joint SALN, correct?
He is with the private sector, Your
Yes,
Honor.
yes. But you included his income as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And but he did not sign the SALN to give his conformity to a background investigation of your financial status.
Your Honor, uh I am so sorry for that, but I can submit copies that will bear the signatures of my husband, Your Honor.
All right. Now, in your SALN, you also declared, Commissioner, that you maintain game fowls breeding cocks worth 1.2 m. Uh, as a public officer, are you abetting gambling?
Your Honor, uh, maintaining that is different from betting, Your Honor. We breed, Your
You sell
Honor.
them. You sell them.
And it's the business of my husband, Your Honor.
Or not your
Not
business.
me,
Declare it.
Your Honor.
You declare it you're selling.
But I have to declare it, Your Honor.
So you sell breeding cocks to people, gambling aficionados who engage in cockfighting.
Your Honor, I don't know who are the buyers of this cockfighting cocks. These cocks, Your Honor. I do not know who are the buyers of this. But my husband can give light to this. He can come if you need him to come, Your Honor, so that he can explain. Because honestly, I don't know anything about
We're going to summon your husband to explain.
Your Honor, because I do not know anything about this cockfighting, Your Honor. But I just need to be honest with my Salen, Your Honor. That's why I declared those.
Let me ask you a personal question, Commissioner. In the
Yes, Your Honor.
NLRC, has Globe Telecom lost any case in the NLRC? Just a personal question. To the best of your knowledge and information,
I think there was. I think so, Your Honor.
you cannot remember.
But I think, Your Honor. Uh,
You, which begs the question: did you inhibit in cases involving Globe Telecom? I am pretty sure
yes,
it's
yes, Your
Globe
Honor.
Telecom is a vast conglomerate, and it has plenty of workforce, which eventually will entail some labor cases. So you always inhibited in cases involving Globe Telecom.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, if you can just come to my office, Your Honor, my lawyers and some staff have a list in front of them of those persons, corporations, law offices uh, who have cases here at the National Labor Relations Commissions and raffled to us so that they will immediately call my attention so that I can inhibit. Your Honor, if you can just come, we have a list in front of every screen of the computer. They have a list, Your Honor, so that they will be immediately alarmed.
If you become, if you're nominated and you're appointed as Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals, will you be inhibiting from cases involving Globe Telecom and the Ayala affiliated companies?
Your Honor, with respect to Globe, definitely I need to inhibit because up to the present time, Your Honor, despite his severance of employment relationship, he still works as a consultant of Globe, Your Honor.
What about the Ayala affiliated companies? Will you be inhibiting as well?
Your
Because there
Honor,
could be some interlocking directorate.
Your Honor, I don't think there is a need for me to inhibit as there is no reason for me to inhibit with respect to the other companies of the Ayala, Your Honor.
You don't foresee any possible conflict of interest considering that your spouse is still connected financially with Globe Telecom, which is an Ayala affiliate company.
Your Honor, but each corporation is separate from the other, Your
So you're
Honor.
making a distinction about it.
Yes, Your Honor, I need not inhibit with the other cases because I understand, Your Honor, that per company, there are several lawyers that will represent that company, Your Honor.
All right, let me ask you about certain questions. What is your understanding of impeachment. What is impeachment, Commissioner?
Your Honor, impeachment is not a civil case. It is not a criminal case. It is an in-between proceeding, Your Honor.
Between.
Yes.
It's,
Uh,
it's a
it is.
hybrid. You mean it's a hybrid proceedings?
It cannot be classified as civil. It cannot be classified as criminal, Your Honor. But
Sui
we need to
generis.
follow.
You're saying it's a sui generis. What is
Yes, Your Honor. It's a sui generis proceeding, Your Honor. But because of the serious accusation against the subject person, Your Honor, we need to follow the. We need to recognize or provide the respondent with the rights provided to the accused in the criminal cases, Your Honor.
Can you give me examples of impeachable officers?
Uh, the President, Your Honor, of the Philippines, the members of the Supreme Court, Your Honor.
What about the Vice President?
Yes, Your Honor, the Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines.
Members of the Supreme Court.
Members
Members
of the
of the NLRC, are they impeachable?
Your Honor, we are not impeachable, but Your Honor, as provided under the Labor Code, we must uh, we can stay here up to the age of 65 unless removed for cause.
What about members of the JBC? Are we impeachable officers?
No, Your Honor, you are not impeachable officers.
Can you, on what grounds can impeachable officers be removed for cause?
Your Honor, the Constitution provides that should there be betrayal of public trust, then that public official may be impeached, Your Honor.
Is that the only ground for impeachment?
Uh, Your Honor, there is betrayal of public trust, and Your Honor, if there are cases wherein such public officer uh, failed to comply with the qualifications, Your Honor, then he can be impeached, Your Honor.
Qualifications.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ground for
That's what I,
impeachment. But you're talking of co-warranto, not
uh,
impeachment.
Your Honor, I'm trying to recall the
You
previous case
forgot
of
the Constitution. What about culpable violation of the Constitution?
culpable violation of the Constitution, Your Honor, and betrayal of public trust.
Can you give me an example of culpable violation of the Constitution? To the best
Uh,
of your recollection.
yes, Your Honor. For example, Your Honor, the Constitution provides that public office is a public trust, Your Honor. That
Okay.
is why, since it is a public trust, a higher standard is required from the public officers, Your Honor.
What
Can I
about,
cite a specific example, Your Honor?
okay, example,
Okay.
example.
Yes, Your Honor. In the case of Chief Justice Sereno, Your Honor.
Was she impeached?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, for a while, Your
You,
Honor, it was a
were you,
co-warranto.
were you out
It
of
was
the
a no,
country
Your Honor, it was a co-warranto. I forgot. It was a co-warranto proceeding, Your Honor. The who was impeached was Chief Justice Corona.
Chief Justice Corona?
Corona, Your Honor.
All right. What about justices of the Court of Appeals? Can they be removed for cause?
Your Honor, as long as the public officer uh,
Justices of the Court of Appeals.
can they be removed for cause?
Cause?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who will remove them?
The Supreme Court, Your Honor, has the power over all justices and judges, Your Honor.
Sandigan Bayan, can they be removed for cause?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who will remove them?
Also the Supreme Court po.
What is the Judicial Integrity Board, Commissioner?
Your Honor, the Judicial Integrity Board is another office which function is to determine the fitness of the members of the judiciary, Your Honor.
You mean to say the Judicial Integrity Board duplicates the function of the Judicial and Bar Council? You
Uh,
said determine the fitness.
Your Honor, the Judicial and Bar Council, the function of which is to determine uh, the qualifications or the fitness prior, Your Honor, prior to appointment,
And
Your Honor. And then
Judicial
this,
Integrity Board,
then after the appointment, then this board will continue to check on the conduct of these judges and members, other members of the judiciary, Your Honor.
okay, my last question is this. What is your understanding of the doctrine of royal prerogative of dishonest? Have you heard about it?
Royal prerogative of dishonest, Your Honor.
That's,
I am,
that's the easiest question.
can, Your Honor,
Let's
maybe
consider
it
that
can be,
warrant to an impeachment.
Your Honor, maybe it can be
Can you make a
translated.
guess? Can you make an educated guess?
Your Honor, please,
Doctrine of royal prerogative of dishonest.
the royal prerogative of the dishonest, Your Honor. Uh, to be honest, Your Honor, this is the first time that I heard that, Your
So to
Honor.
be
But
honest, you don't
can I
know.
guess? Can I
Yeah,
guess, Your Honor?
educated guess. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Royal means that somebody who is occupying a high position.
Okay.
And then, Your Honor, prerogative, because of that higher position, he is exercising something which is contrary to what he has taken in his oath, what he has undertaken as a public officer. Meaning, Your Honor, he uses or abuses his power to engage in corrupt practices, Your Honor.
That's the correct answer to the wrong question. Thank you, Commissioner, for your time and good luck.
Thank you po. Thank you po, Justice.
Thank you, Honorable Tiham. The next interviewer is Honorable Judge Duribio E. Ilaw Jr.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Attorney Inting. I have to mention your family name. Yes, good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning po, Your Honor.
We meet again.
Yes, Your Honor.
The last time we met and you were interviewed was on October 22, 2019,
Last year po, Your Honor.
last year. And we were supposed to interview you for the consideration of the position of the presiding justice of the Court of Appeals. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
What again is the reason why you withdrew your application, just for the record?
Your Honor, there were some confusions, Your Honor, that happened. Because, Your Honor,
Mm,
last year, I already received the recommendation, including the resolution of the IBP recommending the dismissal of the case filed against me. That was last year, Your Honor. I received a copy. And then, Your Honor, when I was trying to complete my papers, my documents for all other positions that I am applying, Your Honor, when I requested for a copy of the clearance from the IBP, the office still provided that a, there is a pending case against me. So, Your Honor, there was a confusion because last year they gave me a notice and even a copy of the resolution, the recommendation, but now they are providing me with a with the certification stating that I still have a pending case, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, what I did, considering that it will not take time that you will have to nominate, Your Honor, considering also that it was so hard for us, the applicants, to get copies of clearances from different government offices. I decided to withdraw, Your Honor, and just focus on these other vacancies because I need to check which is really true with the IBP, if the case was already dismissed or it was not yet dismissed. But finally, I got, Your Honor, a clearance stating that the case, there's no more case against me, which is pending before that office.
All right, thank you.
You're
You
welcome.
were a labor arbiter for 6 years, then a judge for 5 years, back to the National Labor Relations Commission, and now you're applying again for the judiciary. It appears that you could not make up your mind. Ano ba talaga, ate? What really is in your heart?
Your Honor, of course, definitely, what is in my heart is to serve the public. And by going back to the judiciary, Your Honor, that will be an opportunity for me to go on a broader field of disposition of cases
A
because, Your
broader
Honor,
field.
yes, Your Honor, because here in the National Labor Relations Commission, we are limited to labor cases, Your Honor. And if given the chance, if I will get appointed to the Court of Appeals, then I will get the chance to decide on other cases involving other laws and jurisprudence, Your Honor, not just limited to labor.
As a commissioner, how many commissioners are there in the NLRC aside from the chairman of the commission? Now,
Your Honor, in total po, 24 po kami. In
24
total.
na ba?
Opo.
As
That
commissioners?
that includes the chairman po
And the chairman now is, who's this,
Chairman
Gerardo
Gerardo Nograles po.
Benjamin Nograles?
Opo.
Any relation to Secretary, what's this, Carlo?
Ano po, pamangkin niya po si Cabsec. And then brother niya po
Any,
si Speaker Prospero po, brother niya. Si Cabsec Carlo po,
I
pamangkin.
see. All right. You are applying for both the Court of Appeals and the Sandigan Bayan, am I correct?
Opo.
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes
By the
po.
way, let's go back to what's the salary grade of a Commissioner of the NLRC?
30 po.
Salary grade.
30 po. 30?
Salary grade
30 po.
29 or 30?
30.
30.
Opo.
So it's equivalent to a Justice of the Court of Appeals or
Opo.
to Associate Justice of the Appellate Court.
Opo.
Are you comfortable of leaving NLRC, then going to a salary grade the same as you have now?
Your Honor, to be honest, it is not the salary which is my primary consideration in transferring to the Court of Appeals. Because, Your Honor, what I earn is what I spend and some of it I save, Your Honor. So it doesn't matter to me how much will be my salary. And it doesn't matter to me, Your Honor, even my present salary. Because I live a simple life, Your Honor.
Ms. Leah.
Judge, can you hear?
Hello.
Yes po. Judge, can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yes, I can hear you. Network bandwidth is low.
Yes, Judge. Were you able to capture what Commissioner Escoto said? She was able to answer your question po. You did
I
not hear
didn't get
that.
it. I did not get it clearly.
Uh,
Yes,
Commissioner.
Commissioner.
Okay. Your Honor, with respect to the income, as what I said, Your Honor, it doesn't matter to me how much I am receiving now and how much I will receive should I be appointed as Justice of the Court of Appeals or the Sandigan Bayan. Because, Your Honor, number one, my husband can provide for me. Number two, I live a simple life. And I am contented with simple living, Your Honor.
Simple life, simple living.
Yes, Your Honor.
But there is no denial that you and your husband are multimillionaires.
Your Honor, it's just so happened that he was engaged by a company, Your Honor, that uh, will provide us with not only with the high salary but with other benefits, Your Honor. Because when he was with Globe, Your Honor, we were provided with vehicles. He was provided with free gasoline. The whole family, Your Honor, was provided with unlimited hospitalization and uh, medicines, Your Honor. The expenses for medicines and hospitalization are provided by Globe Telecom. And Your Honor, he is also engaged in some business, Your Honor.
A cock breeder.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sabungero pala yan. Is he really a
Actually
game
po, he
fowl?
breeds, Your Honor. And
Big time, big time.
maybe he is just lucky, Your Honor. And Your Honor, uh, from some people that may be taken against me, but I need to be honest. I need to declare that in my SILN, Your Honor. So that's the reason. I need to declare that I'm in the government service.
Okay. Because he owns fowls breeding cocks worth 1.5 million. That was declared in 2012, 2014, 2016, and 2017 Salen. What kind of cocks? Imported ones.
Actually, Your Honor, actually, Your
Does
Honor,
have an idea?
I don't have a specific ideas about those because I don't even see those cocks in some provinces. What I see are just those cocks in their province in Samar, Your Honor. But aside,
In Samar.
they have a he has a farm in Samar and he also has a farm in Bacolod. I don't have any idea, Your Honor. To be honest, I do not know anything about cockfighting and those
Does he have any
cocks.
farm here in nearby Metro Manila? Maybe in Antipolo, Cavite, Laguna. Does he own a farm?
In the past, Your Honor, in Antipolo, I think, I'm not sure, but
A friend
I'm
of
just sure
Governor Ito Inares.
my husband,
But
my husband po.
yes,
Actually
yeah,
po,
a friend of Ito Inares.
actually po, Governor Ito doesn't know him, but Governor Ito knows me because I was the presiding judge in Morong Rizal po.
I see.
Opo. I do not know, I just do not know, Your Honor, if there were opportunities in the past that there were meetings between my husband and Governor Inares.
What's the name of your husband?
Gilbert po.
Gilbert Escoto.
Opo.
Escoto.
Escoto po.
Coming, who came from what province? Samar?
He came from Eastern Samar po.
Okay, you were born in
Manila
Manila
po.
and you are now residing at Imus, Cavite.
Opo.
The name of your father is Antonio Senate.
Senate po.
Is this Senate or Senate?
Senate po. Senate.
Senate,
Opo.
not Senate.
Sounds like
Kasi
that po.
Bisaya. O ano.
He is from
Ah,
Bicol po. From Bicol.
your, Bicol TV. Your
Opo.
mother's from
Paliwag, Bulacan po.
Baliwag, Bulacan. And going over your SAL and in 2014 SAL and you declared that your Ford Everest is worth 26,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
What?
That's what... Yes po.
Yes, please.
Apo.
All right, please continue.
Apo. That's what I'm trying to say, Your Honor. Globe Telecom will provide my husband with brand new cars and not just the ordinary cars, Your Honor. But at the end of a certain period, he will just pay a very little amount. Just like in the Everest, he was just uh, it was just very little, Your Honor. Just like all the other cars provided by Globe. That is why I said that I am very lucky. Our family is very lucky, Your Honor.
And also your Isuzu Altera purchased in 2017 was the cost of acquisition was only 10,000. Wow.
Yes,
Talaga
Your
very
Honor.
lucky kayo.
Yes, Your
Iba
Honor.
na talaga mga Ayala boys.
In fact, Your Honor,
Ayala boys.
in fact, Your Honor, every time I submit my SALN here at the office, the concerned personnel will call my attention about the costs of these vehicles. And then I will explain to them those costs were because of the grants provided by Globe.
Hindi lang kayo lucky. Very lucky. Just like Rudy Salalima. No?
He is my
You know
uncle,
him?
Your
Rudy
Honor.
Salalima.
He is my
Ay,
uncle po.
uncle po ba si Rudy?
Opo.
Oh, from Bicol also.
Opo.
Uragon talaga. Alright, you are applying for both the Court of Appeals Sandigan Bayan. What preparations did you make for the Court of Appeals?
Actually po, Your Honor, the preparations I made are for both, Your Honor. First, Your Honor, considering, I will be very specific, Your Honor, considering the revisions in the rules of court, Your Honor, I tried my best to read all the revisions in the civil procedure and the rules on evidence, Your Honor. Number two, Your Honor, I'm trying my best to keep abreast of the latest jurisprudence. I try my best to read the cases being promulgated by the Supreme Court, Your Honor. Next, Your Honor, because of the pandemic, we need to be very sensitive. We need to be aware of the various issuances released by the different offices, including the Supreme Court, Your Honor, because we know that this situation will not be, it will still take long, Your Honor, to be with us, the virus.
Alright, you're applying for both and you claim that both. But if you were made to choose, where would you prefer to be appointed and why? That's between the two, Court of Appeals or Sandigan Bayan.
Your Honor, to be honest, it doesn't matter to me if I get appointed to the Court of Appeals or to the Sandigan Bayan, Your Honor.
All right, let's go to your. Are there perceived conflict between the provisions or functions of the Ombudsman and the Court of Appeals? Hello?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there perceived conflict between the functions of the Ombudsman and the Court of Appeals on the matter of temporary restraining order issued in relation to preventive suspension or dismissal orders from the Ombudsman?
In terms of conflict, Your Honor, may you please repeat, Your Honor? Kindly
Are
repeat,
there,
please.
are there perceived conflict between the functions of the Ombudsman and the Court of Appeals on the matter of the issuance of temporary restraining order in relation to preventive suspension or dismissal orders of government functionaries from the service?
Your Honor, this is just a wild guess, Your Honor, because for the Ombudsman, Your Honor, the subject are the public officials, Your Honor. So there can be, I don't think there can be a conflict between the two, Your Honor.
Your internet connection is unstable.
Yes, Judge, your internet bandwidth is low po. Maybe ask Commissioner Escoto to repeat the answer po.
Oh, baka inaano ko ng globe Ano nga?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Rudy, kalalima. Internet. Kaya tuloy si Presidente na improve daw. Yes, can you still hear me? Do you hear me, Commissioner? Ayan.
Judge, from our end, we can hear you loud and clear po. Even your face style is very clear po, Judge. Commissioner, ayan, si Commissioner naman po ang nag-freeze. Can we shift to your other device, to your secondary device? We will send the request to unmute your secondary device. Can you turn to your other device po? To your left? Can you hear me? We will send you. Dennis, can we send the request to unmute the audio? Yes. Judge, can you hear Commissioner? Yes, Judge, I can hear you po.
You can hear me.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Commissioner. Gina. Can you hear me?
Can you turn down the volume of your main device and then paki-up na lang po ng volume of your secondary device? Yes, Judge. Can we switch to your secondary device, Judge? Can you see the face style now? You are on spotlight mode, Judge. Can you shift to the other device po? Sa kabilang device po.
Hello, good morning. Nawawala. Pwede ko magtawag ng staff?
Yes, Judge, you may ask your staff to assist you. Dennis, can we send the message, please? Secondary device.
Thank you. I request my staff to assist me. Okay. Thank you.
For a while lang po, Judge Ilaw.
Attorney Leia?
Yes,
Attorney Leia, opo, sorry po. I was on the phone with Commissioner Escoto just now and she said po that she will call her staff to assist po.
Okay, thank you, Miss April.
Okay po.
Judge Ilaw, just hold on lang po for fix Judge Escoto, Commissioner Escoto's device.
Commissioner, hello.
Dennis, can we send the share screen, please, shift to secondary
Palit
device?
na ata ako na.
Inalis ko na.
Paano?
Naka-open data ka na, naka-tanggal.
Oh.
Paano? Yes, Leia.
Yes, Judge po. Hindi po tayo makita ni Commissioner Escoto. Maybe for secondary.
Okay na?
Hindi pa po, Judge. We're now asking her to shift to her secondary device po. Commissioner,
May device. Hindi pa
Attorney
ako
Lea,
makita. Laki na nga ng mukha ko rito.
call her cellphone po.
Miss April, can you call her again and inform her that we're going to shift to her secondary?
Power off muna na.
Yes po, I'll call.
Ayan, enough
Wala
ko
nang,
muna.
wala nang secondary device. Walang second device.
To your left,
Commissioner.
Commissioner.
Ibalik na lang natin. Nakakolect na? 6 collection na lang.
Can you see me, Commissioner?
I'm trying to call her po, kaya lang hindi rin nagko-connect. Kasi she's using the phone right now.
Ikaw.
Nlrc. Ito?
Can we send her Viber message, Miss April?
Hello?
I think she's trying to call.
Yes, oo.
Di ba dalawa po yung device nyo?
Oo.
Yung naka-side po sa inyo, yun na lang po.
Pwede yung cellphone ko na lang. Kasi wala itong walang speakerphone. Oo. Yung cellphone ko na lang, pwede. Teka. Sige nga. We're trying sige. So, isa na lang ang device ko. Sige, okay. Thank you. Okay, diba? Ito na lang ba?
Can you hear me now, Commissioner?
Yes.
Yes. Can you turn to your left po? You have a video facing there. What is your secondary device? Is it a mobile phone or a laptop po? We can see you now, Commissioner.
Do I need to establish another device?
Commissioner Judge Ilaw, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear Commissioner and Leia. And Leia, I can hear you loud and clear also.
Okay, Judge.
Commissioner.
Do
Okay
I
na
need
po.
another device? No need.
No need na po,
Sige
Commissioner.
po, okay.
Thank you, Judge Ilaw. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Leia. So, Commissioner, give me reasons why I should not shift from globe to smart.
Your Honor, I am not allowed to make any comment.
So what was the last answer of you made? You stated that there seems to be no conflict between the functions of the Ombudsman and the
Yes, Your Honor. The Court of Appeals.
Court of Appeals. But you remember the case of the then mayor of Oscar Moreno, as well as a certain politician by the name of Collado?
Can you please give some facts, Your Honor, so that I can remember?
Sir, I'll just stick on your statement that there seems to be no conflict between the functions of the Ombudsman as against the Court of Appeals. Now, how about is there a perceived conflict between the provisions of the Labor Code with respect to the jurisdiction of the Nlrc and the Department of Labor in terms of in cases where there is such allegations of illegal dismissal of employees or the giving the minimum wage?
Your Honor, there is no conflict, Your Honor, because the Labor Code is very specific that in cases of illegal dismissal, Your Honor, it will be under the jurisdiction of the Nlrc.
About for the pronouncement as to the minimum wage.
Your Honor.
And then there's such allegation of dismissal. The minimum wage seems to be under the jurisdiction of Department of Labor. The DOL.
Your Honor, we decide in cases there are claims, Your Honor. with respect to the policies, how it will be implemented, Your Honor, it's the office of the DOLE, Your Honor. In case of non-payment or uh, there are differentials, then it will be with the NLRC.
So it seems to be in the matter of the allegations in the complaint.
Yes, Your Honor. It depends with the claim of the uh, if it will require adjudication as to non-payment or uh, differential, claim for differential, then we will have jurisdiction, Your Honor.
But let's shift to the cases or decisions by the Sandigan Bayan. Is the person under preliminary investigation by the Ombudsman entitled to file a motion for consideration of the adverse decision? What case or cases have you read recently with respect to the issuance or decisions by the court in relation to the Ombuds or the Sandigan Bayan case?
Your Honor, you are asking me if of whatever case I read about Sandigan Bayan?
Yeah, specifically is the person under preliminary investigation by the Ombudsman entitled to file a motion for reconsideration of the adverse decision.
The ombudsman has already resolved the preliminary investigation, Your Honor.
Yes.
Uh, Your Honor, he may file a motion for reconsideration, Your Honor.
For what reason?
Your Honor, there can be some facts and circumstances that were not taken into consideration by the ombudsman. So the respondent may call the attention of the or may invite the attention of the ombudsman to once again review the resolution, Your Honor.
What is the doctrine of primary jurisdiction?
Your Honor, the doctrine of primary jurisdiction provides that the court the court as provided by the Supreme Court can take or can try and decide a case which falls under its jurisdiction as provided by the Supreme Court, Your Honor, in its rules, Your Honor.
All right, let's shift to another matter. What have you done professionally that is not an experience you would want to repeat?
Please repeat, Your Honor.
What have you done professionally that is not an experience you would want to repeat?
What I want to repeat, Your Honor.
What have you done professionally that is not an experience you would want to repeat?
Meaning, Your Honor, I want to repeat it or I do not want to repeat it.
All right, let's go to another point. Could you briefly explain something to me that is complicated, but you know very well?
Your Honor, some things, Your Honor, may appear complicated. For example, a case is presented to me, Your Honor. It may appear complicated because there are numerous parties. Sometimes in labor cases, Your Honor, there are 50 cases. There are 50 complainants in one case, Your Honor. There are different reliefs required by these complainants, Your Honor. And there are also several respondents, just like should there be labor contracting or job contracting. At first glance, this may seem complicated, Your Honor. But if you just take a look at each cause of action of these complainants, then you will realize that some share common interests, that some share common complaints. So it may appear complicated at first, but just a short reading, just a short period of time given to this case, you will realize that this is just a simple case, Your Honor.
All right, my last question. Commissioner,
Yes, Your Honor.
could you enumerate 5 uses for a paper clip?
Your Honor. 5 uses for a paper clip, Your Honor. Number one, for the various documents to go together. You need to put them together, then you need a paper clip, Your Honor. Number two, you can use the paper clip to make a hole on a paper, Your Honor, because it's pointed, Your Honor. Number three, your paper clip can also be used just in case there is a problem with the keys of the computer. You can use this. You can use the paper clip, Your Honor. Number four, you can also use the paper clip if you need to get something which went on a certain area, which will require a pointed object to recover that area, to recover that thing that you seem to have lost, but it's still, it's just there. Then number five, Your Honor, you
Last.
can, yes, Your Honor, you can use the paper clip to hang something. You can hang it and then hang another thing, Your Honor.
Not as a toothpick.
It can, if a person would want to use that as a toothpick, Your Honor, but I'm thinking of a setting in an office, Your Honor.
All right, still in the office, also work related. Yes, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And regards to your husband and regards also to your uncle. I didn't know that Rudy is an uncle of yours.
Thank you so much po. I will extend your regards po. Thank you so much po.
And good luck.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Honorable Judge Ilaw.
Thank you, Tali.
The next interviewer is Honorable Justice Jose Capelle Mendoza.
Morning, Commissioner.
Good morning po, Justice.
My internet is also unstable, but for the moment, it's okay. We have extensively interviewed you before. I remember our good friend Judge Zamora has left us.
Yes,
you were with him before. You were interviewed before. How do you remember the questions?
The questions you asked me, Your Honor.
Yes, were you able to answer them all?
Can I go one by one, Your Honor?
Those which you failed to answer.
Your Honor.
After the interview, you reviewed them, the question. Yes. So now you know the answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anyway, you know the answer na. I will not ask them because of the interruption earlier, it took much of our time.
Yes.
We have another.
I am so sorry for that, Your Honor.
No, it's not your fault. It's technical. I'll just go over your answers. In your answer to number 5A, a judge interpretation of the law should not be considered a transfer of decision-making power from the legislative to the judiciary. First, it must be stressed that the Civil Code of the Philippines provides that decisions of the courts form part of the law of the land. Okay? What is your basis for this?
Your Honor, I can remember a provision in the Civil Code that uh, in case, Your Honor, there are some obscurities, there are gaps, lacuna in the law, the court has to decide, Your Honor. And
Yes.
then, Your Honor, uh, I also remember a certain provision in the Civil Code which provides that if the disposition of a case will require interpretation of the law, and then the decision of the Supreme Court, of the court, will become part of the law of the land, Your Honor. I, at that
You
time
are
when I was taking the exam, I can at least remember those principles, Your
very good.
Honor.
But what do you mean by forming part of the law of the land?
Your Honor, it doesn't mean that the judiciary is taking over the place of the Congress, Your Honor. The judiciary is not here to provide specifically for laws, Your Honor. But because there were obscurities, gaps required in the decision, because there were obscurities and gaps in the law, then the judge has to decide, uh, taking into account, Your Honor, that particular lacuna, and at the same time, what uh, what laws and jurisprudence can be applied by analogy or suppletorily, Your Honor, in deciding the case.
Okay, we'll go into that, but I want you to explain uh, or what you wrote, that it forms part of the law of the land.
Your
Is that
Honor,
not judicial legislation? Forms part of the law of the land.
Your Honor, because there were gaps in the law, then since the judge in the disposition of the case was able, Your Honor, to fill that
That's
gap.
that's interpretation. I
Yes,
am
Your Honor.
referring to the decision itself, whether it's whatever it is, interpretation of the law.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
I know what you mean. You're referring to another article. But you said a decision forms part of the law of the land. Is that not judicial legislation? It forms part of the law of the land.
No, Your Honor. It's
No?
just in the sense that because of that decision, then it will be a guide. Just like laws, it will be a guide for the people, Your Honor. But it's not transferring the power of Congress to the judiciary, Your Honor.
Why did you write form it it forms part of the law of the land?
Because, Your Honor, by deciding that way, Your Honor, the people, or specifically those who may be later on uh, file a similar case, then they will be guided, or their cases will be resolved in that manner, Your Honor. So it will now serve as a guide.
Guide only, it does not form part of the law of the land.
In the sense, Your Honor, it serves as a guide, and at the same time it must be
This is very simple.
implemented,
Oh,
Your
this is
Honor.
very simple. Forms part of the law of the land.
Yes,
So
Your
a
Honor.
decision has to be executed. That's what you meant,
Yes,
no?
Your Honor. It must be
Implemented. What do you mean by forming part of the law of the land?
Your Honor, it will form part of the law of the land
You
because,
wrote it here,
yes, Your Honor.
referring to the provision in the civil code.
Because, Your Honor, in later on, should there be people similarly situated, Your Honor, then their cases will be decided in the same way, Your Honor.
That's why I remember you referring to stare decisis like that. But you quoted the civil code. Is this provided in the civil code that it forms part of the law of the land?
That's what I can remember, Your Honor, while taking the examination.
So
Decisions interpreting the laws will form part of the laws, Your Honor.
are you sure of that?
Yes, Your Honor, I can
You
remember that provision.
Oh, very good.
I can
But
remember the provision, Your Honor. I am
okay.
sure there is a provision. It's not before Article 10, Your Honor. It's maybe Article 8.
Yes, okay. Article 8.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know the article, but you quoted it wrong. Judicial decisions applying or interpreting the
Interpreting
laws or the Constitution shall form a part of the legal system.
legal system.
It
Your Honor,
not form part of the law of the land because it forms part of the law of the land. It is judicial legislation,
Your Honor,
correct?
yes, Your Honor.
You got confused.
Maybe because for lack
What
of time.
forms the law of the land? What do you remember?
Uh, what forms part of the law of the land, Your Honor?
Yes.
The customs, the traditions, Your
It
Honor.
becomes a law. Those natural laws, they become law of
Yes.
the land.
Yes, Your
They were not. They are not positive laws. They're just customs. You mean they can be the subject of an action for performance?
Your Honor, I can remember some jurisprudence in the past saying that this can form part of the law of the land, Your Honor.
I see. In the Constitution, it says international law, which we are a signatory, forms part of the law of the land. You got
Okay.
confused already. You got confused. Oh. So now you know what is judicial legislation, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's not what you meant earlier, what you wrote. It's
Yes,
not
Your
what
Honor.
you meant. Oh, what is judicial restraint then?
Uh, Your Honor, judicial restraint, this is my own thinking, Your Honor.
Yes.
It will refer to the restrictions to be observed by the judiciary in deciding a case such that decisions shall be confined to the facts and circumstances provided in the case and the application, Your Honor, of uh, relevant jurisprudence and laws, Your Honor.
That is your view of what is judicial restraint.
Because the judiciary, Your Honor, will not decide cases which do not involve actual controversy, Your Honor.
You're
So,
referring to judicial review. Okay, a judicial restraint is when the court refuses to give due course to a petition if it concerns the internal affairs of the executive or legislative. Okay, now you remember or
yes,
you're
Your Honor.
confused?
Now I remember, Your Honor.
You remember? Oh, what else did you write? I'm just reading what you wrote. Oh, okay. You have been with Judge Zamora. You've been a judge at RTC Morong. You've been in the court. What I think you know this. What is pro hac vice decision?
Vice. Your Honor,
Suppose you're in the Court of Appeals, and you will you use that term? This decision is pro hac vice.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I need to check the dictionary. I forgot, Your Honor. To be honest, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll not cover that anymore. You know what is the condonation doctrine?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is it?
Your Honor, can I apply it to the present situation which I just read?
You
Uh,
just read.
there is a
Just
condemnation.
yes. Okay. What did you read?
Your Honor, I read that in the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act,
Yeah.
the law provides for a condonation of the payment supposedly to be paid by the awardees of lands covered by the agrarian reform, Your Honor.
You see,
So they will no longer required
I'm
to.
referring to administrative cases against officials. Condonation doctrine. What is it? Have you read the Binay case? You're going to the Court of Appeals. That was a controversial decision when it was still pending in the Court of Appeals.
uh, Condonation, Your Honor, will
Yes,
refer.
yes.
Uh, it will refer, Your Honor, to an agreement between the parties, Your Honor, to reduce the amount supposedly to be paid or to be returned, Your Honor.
Are you sure of that?
Because from the word condonation, Your Honor,
Just because
I
of the
just
word I gave you the tips already. Binay case, administrative case. It is when an elective local official
yes, I remember.
is re-elected,
Yes, Your Honor, I remember.
his or her acts constituting administrative offenses of liability shall be deemed condoned.
Yes,
Okay?
now I remember, Your Honor.
Yes. You are going to the Court of Appeals and decisions of the Ombudsman are going to be reviewed by the Court of Appeals. Okay? In the Ombudsman, a respondent was charged with an administrative case. He was then re-elected. Okay? But the case went through but he failed to invoke the condonation. Can the ombudsman motu proprio invoke the condonation doctrine to clear him?
Your Honor, for me, invocation of the condonation doctrine is personal to the respondent, Your Honor.
Yes, but it is the ombudsman has judicial knowledge of the re-election.
Even so, Your Honor, it has to
So,
be invoked by the respondent, Your Honor.
cannot. Yeah, can he? Suppose he was not allowed to invoke it in the ombudsman. Goes to the Court of Appeals. It was referred to you. What will be your decision?
Uh, Your Honor, it was under presumption that it was not invoked by the accused, Your Honor.
Yes, it was
It was the
not in
ombudsman.
ombudsman was aware of that. The ombudsman, despite being aware of that, did not clear him. So it goes to the Court of Appeals. So it was referred to you. So what will you recommend to your colleagues?
For me, Your Honor, if the person himself doesn't want to avail of it,
No,
then
he raised it as a ground. But if in the Court of Appeals, sorry, I'm sorry about that. That is one factor I failed to mention. He did not invoke it in the before the ombudsman. But because it was favorable, he invoked it in the Court of Appeals.
Okay. So since it was favorable now to the accused, Your Honor, or to the
Respondent
respondent,
lang
yes, to the
respondent.
respondent.
Because administrative case, sorry.
Mm,
Sige.
opo. Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, since still it was not the respondent who initially invoked it, Your Honor, but then, Your Honor, it will be favorable to him. And since the law or principles provide that if it will be favorable to the person accused, then he can we can extend to him the benefit of that, Your Honor.
Okay. It's the other way around. The ombudsman, which I mentioned earlier, the, the accused, sorry, the respondent did not invoke the condonation doctrine. But the ombudsman, taking judicial notice of the fact of his re-election, used it to clear him. Now, the government went to the Court of Appeals and questioned the ruling of the ombudsman. The respondent said that it should be, the ombudsman should be allowed to motu proprio use that as a ground for his clearance. Now you're in the Court of Appeals. What is your decision? What will you recommend?
Uh, Your Honor, in this instance, it was the ombudsman which initiated the defense, right, Your Honor?
Yes, motu proprio because the respondent failed to invoke it, but it took judicial notice of his re-election and used it to clear him of the administrative fees.
Your Honor, so in that way, the ombudsman is waiving several rights of the state, Your Honor.
So, will be your decision? So it's just like this. The question is easy.
Yes, sir.
Can the ombudsman the issue in the court of justice? Can the ombudsman motu proprio invoke or utilize the condonation doctrine to clear the respondent? That's the
Uh,
only issue.
Your Honor, for me, the ombudsman cannot do that, Your Honor. Number one, it is personal on the part of the respondent to raise that. Number two, if we allow the ombudsman, then the ombudsman will be waiving several rights of the state, Your Honor.
What is that right of the state?
Right to recover just in case there will be a judgment against the respondent.
Well, it does not pertain to something ill-gotten. It's just
Yes.
his act. We'll just refer to the act.
Yes, Your Honor. It will waive its right to punish, the right of the state to punish those who commit wrongdoings against it, Your Honor. It will be waiving its right to set as precedents to
So
those people.
you will reverse the ombudsman.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will reverse the ombudsman. Okay. What are the three instances or three major categories Court of Appeals where you're applying can receive evidence?
Your Honor, what are the three? Please repeat po.
Three categories or instances when the Court of Appeals can receive evidence.
Okay. Your Honor, it can receive evidence when, just like, this is a specific example, Your Honor.
You give the categories.
Okay.
Sige.
When there are conflicting findings, Your Honor, specifically between the findings of the labor arbiter and the commission. Number two, Your Honor, when there was misappreciation of facts, Your Honor. Number three, if justice will be best served if this will be taken by the Court of Appeals, Your Honor.
Where did you read that? What is your basis?
In the course of deciding labor cases, Your Honor.
Oh, but you're applying in the Court of Appeals, and you even applied for the position of presiding justice. Oh, well, the three grounds are: one, where it exercises original jurisdiction; in civil cases, where that is newly discovered evidence; also in criminal cases, where there's newly discovered evidence; and in case of provisional remedies, you want to prove damages. Okay, you review your rules. Okay,
Yes, Your
you're
Honor.
applying there. Because I thought you mastered it already because you're applying, you applied the speed. Okay, this will be my last. Suppose you render a decision in the Nlrc. Okay? The losing party went to the Court of Appeals, but failed to comply with all the requirements. It was dismissed. The petition, the losing party, his petition for review on certiorari. The losing party wants to elevate the matter to the Supreme Court. Was the dismissal, not on the merits, but on technicality, can you file an action or petition for certiorari for grave abuse of discretion on the part of the Court of Appeals?
Your Honor, if there was grave abuse of discretion, Your Honor, then
Yes.
it can file an action before the Supreme Court, Your Honor.
I see. Are you sure of that?
Yes, Your Honor. They can go to
Yes.
the Court of Appeals.
This
They can go to the Supreme Court.
This is a decision of the Supreme Court emanating from the Nlrc, versus Court of Appeals. The remedy was wrong. You cannot file a petition for certiorari. You file a petition for review on certiorari under
I missed the
Okay.
petition for review, Your Honor.
No, both of them are petitions.
Yes,
Both
Your
of them
Honor.
are petitions. Oh, okay. Those were my last questions. Sige, thank you very much. We lack time already, Commissioner.
Thank you very much, po, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you very much, po, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yes.
Justice Mendoza.
Yes.
And thank you, Commissioner Senate Iscoto.
Yes, Attorney.
Thank you and good luck po, Commissioner.
Thank you. I can already leave.
Yes, you're excused. You're excused.
Apo,
Unless you want to answer more questions.
hindi na po.
Hindi.
Thank you very much po.
See.
Permission to leave po, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honors, the next candidate to be interviewed is Judge Paz Esperanza M. Cortez, presiding judge of Regional Trial Court Branch 271, Taguig City. She is an applicant for the Court of Appeals. Good morning, Judge Cortez. First to interview you is the Honorable Judge Franklin J. de Monteverde.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Attorney Sally. Thank you. Good morning, Judge Cortez.
Good morning.
Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. From where are you, Judge?
I am from Aklan, Calibo, Aklan.
You were born there.
I was born in Manila, but I grew up in Aklan. My parents are Aklanon.
And they are still in
Yeah, they
Calibo.
are. Yes, sir. They are quarantined there.
Okay, because I was looking over your records and I found out that you finished your elementary education in where's this?
Calibo, Aklan.
Calibo.
Yes, sir.
And how about high school?
I
Was
also
this in Rojas? Rojas in
N-
Capiz? Is this in
no,
Capiz?
no, sir. It's in Calibo, Aklan also.
Calibo also. So you practically grew up in Calibo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Judge, you're still single.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is this a personal choice of yours?
Well, I guess it is my personal choice.
I
I
you,
have.
uh, yes, continue.
Well, I got busy with my job, and I haven't found someone to share my life with.
Okay. So, still hoping for that time to come.
Well, I hope so.
Okay. Now, Judge, for how long have you been the presiding judge of RTC Branch 271 in Taguig City?
Since 2006, that would make it about 13 years, at 14 years.
14 years.
14 years.
And what is your present caseload?
My present caseload is 1,355 as of October. I think it's less than that now in November.
Isn't this quite a high number?
Yeah, it got high 2 years ago when I was given the extra load of drug cases when it reached 2,000.
Okay. And what do you intend to lessen this further?
I have already managed to organize my staff, and I have asked the Office of the Court Administrator to give me more staff and the City Hall to give me more staff, and I have already trained them. And
Mhm.
it is just a matter of organizing everybody so that we can give more output of more than 35 cases a month
Okay. As a lawyer, for how long have you been one?
since 2005.
2005, and that would be 15
Uh,
years?
how many years?
15 years?
2000 and 1995. Sorry, I'm 1995.
Okay. Okay.
1995, 2005.
Yeah, 1995 because
25 years. 25
uh-huh,
years.
25 years. And you were connected with the branch, with RTC Branch 9 Calibo from
Yes, sir.
1995 to 1997.
Yes, I was the branch clerk of court there.
Uh-huh. Now, give me an educational background as to your college and postgraduate studies, if any.
Uh, I studied at the Miriam College of Law, AB International Studies, and then I took law in UP, and I
Mhm.
took Masters of Law in San Beda, but I failed to pass my thesis because I got extra load. So yes, I
It's
decided to focus
Miriam
on this
College,
one.
the former Merinol College.
Yes, it was the former Marinol College.
Okay.
We were the first batch of Marinol
Okay.
College.
That was in the late 50s or uh,
It was in 1990. It was in 1990, sir.
okay. Oh, sige. Now, what is this Bachelor of Arts in International Studies? Can you
Uh,
apprise me of this
it is
kind of
actually
course?
it is actually a foreign service course. It is about diplomacy, international law, and foreign service.
What do you mean by diplomacy?
We were supposed to be trained for the Department of Foreign Affairs, and so we were taught about international law, the subjects So foreign service and how to be ambassadors, how to work for the Department of Foreign Affairs.
Does that include you being diplomatic in everything that you say?
Well, I hope I still have them.
Now, Judge, there is one pending case against you filed by, what's this? Tech Iron
Yeah, yes, sir.
Resources Incorporated, sometime in 2018. What is this all about?
This is about the involuntary uh, involuntary corporate case for in dissolution of uh, corporation of a corporation through to bankruptcy, and there was a problem with a misunderstanding with the cases, and it seems that I had actually no jurisdiction over the case because the principal uh, party was not in Taguig. So they got angry.
So this is still pending, no?
Yes, it is still pending.
Any inkling as to what the status of the
Well,
case is?
I do not know, sir, because I don't follow up with the Office of the Court Administrator.
Okay, you better follow up this judge, because it might affect your application for the Court of Appeals. Huh?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now, on your medical records, you were certified to be physically and medically fit. That's good.
That's it.
Now, what court are you handling in Taguig?
It is a commercial court, a drugs court, and ordinary court. So,
Okay. Does it involve also, do you also cover the killings of political activists?
yes, sir. And
Okay.
media,
Uh-huh.
extrajudicial killings.
Now, the handling of a special court for the killings of political activists and members of the media, how different is this from the other specialized courts?
All the specialized courts are summary in nature. So I would say that they are almost the same except for the subject matter, that it is a very intense in publicity. There's a high pressure from the media to finish the cases immediately.
Do you consider drugs court yung summary in nature, hearings of the cases there?
Yes, sir, because it's you're supposed to finish the decision within 30 days, and it's an ordinary proceeding, but you have to finish the cases as soon as possible.
Continuous trial.
Yes, continuous trial.
Now, are you aware? Okay, sige. Okay, Judge,
But
continue.
there's a lesser time frame in the decision making in the drugs case, and another special jurisdiction cases than in the ordinary cases.
Okay. So what do you think is the most challenging case that you have handled in branch 271?
I guess it's the Vong Navarro case, where I was subjected under very intense political and media pressure.
And how did you act on or react to the pressure?
I just prayed a lot, and I did my work. I studied it very well, and I slept well when I decided the case.
And how long did you take did you handle the case?
About a year, I think. Yes.
Continuous trial, was it?
It was merely a petition for bail, because after my resolution granting the bail on the accused, the prosecution asked me to inhibit, and so I granted it.
Okay. Now, going over your records, there were about 15 cases where you inhibited from hearing them. Can you tell us what the nature of those cases are?
They are mostly ordinary cases. And,
Ordinary.
yes, sir.
Why did you inhibit from hearing them? What were the reasons?
I think they misunderstood my procedure, and in the air freight cases, they asked me to inhibit because I kept deciding in favor of one case. But again, under the arbitration proceedings, I am supposed to rule on that in that manner, and so the other party decided to ask me to inhibit in all the cases that they filed against the other party. So it's now all with the other courts, except for one more, which is still pending a motion for inhibition.
Hmm. And it's still pending with you now.
Yeah,
That would be
only
the
one more.
16th. That would be the 16th case.
Uh,
Oh, till the
I
15th.
I think there are about air freight cases, 5 or 6 air freight cases, all in all.
Are you aware, Judge, that the Supreme Court frowns on inhibition, judges inhibiting themselves from hearing cases?
Yes, but I have also read about the latest jurisprudence when we are supposed to look at cases from the viewpoint of the other party who is asking for the inhibition, so that they be given due process when the other court would decide the case. So, although I stand in my position that I am doing the right thing, that I did nothing wrong, if the other party thinks, the movement thinks that I am prejudiced against them, I have to give some validity on their position in order to give them another chance and a fresh viewpoint from another court. I cannot insist that I am the sole arbitrator of what is right and wrong.
You graduated from the University of the Philippines
Yes, sir.
College of Law,
Yes, sir.
and were you a member of a sorority there,
A partial sorority.
Portia?
Yes, sir.
Portia. Okay. Now, have you experienced a sister appearing in your court
Oh, yes.
before? Uh, and did you inhibit from hearing the case because of the fact that she was your sorority sister?
It was actually funny because she was the one who asked me to inhibit from the case, citing that I am the sister of the other party, when she is the one who is my sister and actually my batchmate and classmate. And finally, when they appeared before me, they decided both parties. I revealed everything to both parties, and both parties agreed that I should decide on the case.
Okay. Other than the reasons provided for in the rules, what is your personal parameter in inhibiting yourself from hearing a case?
If the other party thinks that I bore personal bias against them, even though I disagree, I think I should give them a chance to look for the other court, so that if I am correct, then the other court will validate my viewpoint on the matter. But if they are correct, then at least they had that chance to be validated.
Okay. Judge, you're a blue belter in Taekwondo?
Yes, sir.
What is this classification? Is this below the black belter?
It's
Or
about three belts below the
the
black belt.
black belt?
So there has to be a red and a brown and then black belter.
Okay. Now, does being a blue belter in Taekwondo make you feel safer in your court and in any other places?
Most definitely, sir. I think there's this instinctive reaction that you can defend yourself from any sudden movements from other people.
Had there been an instance wherein your life was in danger and that you had to resort to taekwondo?
No, sir. But my previous court, the one that I handled before 271, which is branch 266, which was branch 266, had a hostage taking incident just before I handled the court. So I took it as a reminder of how fragile life is and how we need to be secure with our persons.
So, what can you say about the recent killing of a judge in her own chamber?
That is another reminder of why we need to have self-defense classes in the judiciary, and also a way of there's a need for judges to be aware of the psychological makeup of the staff.
Any further idea on how to secure yourselves from such a situation?
I guess the first thing is that you always monitor, ask the staff every day how they are. You should notice if they are silent, if they are staying in one corner, or if they look gloomy or depressed, or if they are very busy, they have lots of cases on their table, and if they are not eating right, they are not sleeping right, they are so thin, too fat, they are not, all the physical and psychological mental makeup of a person should be seen and monitored, supervised by the judge. And also, the door of the chamber should always be open.
Now,
And
Judge, when you see a group of people huddled in one area and talking about themselves, do you get this idea of that they are talking against you?
why would they be talking about me or
Because
against me?
you just mentioned a while ago that it's best to monitor people, especially those huddling together, that talking about you. About
No, I don't think I said that they are handling together talking about
so,
me.
what were you talking about?
But and just if there is any, I was just saying that if there is any unusual behavior by the individual,
Okay, how would you react to that?
I will ask him or her, how is he? Is he doing okay? Is he eating right? Is he sleeping all right? Does he have any problem? Can I do anything to help him?
So, not necessarily asking him if he is talking against you.
Uh, I would assume that he is not talking against me. I don't
So,
think I have that kind of mentality. But
uh,
if he does so, I would think that I would ask him if how is he? Does he have any grievance?
okay. So, Judge, what kind of a personality do you have? Are you moody? Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I think I'm an in between vert.
Oh, explain that in between. What is that in between?
I can handle silence on my own. I have a annual retreat where I undergo 3 days of silence during my birthday. I can
Okay.
handle the silence. I can handle a group, and I can lead my staff, my court, my family. I can be in the middle of a party and have fun, and I can travel alone and have fun. So I guess I can talk to strangers and have fun.
Uh-huh. So you are an outgoing person, an extrovert.
mm, probably,
Okay.
probably.
Any reaction to you or any criticisms hurled against you, whether destructive or what? You don't mind.
If they have valid reason to tell me in my face or even at my back that they don't like me, they are entitled to their opinion. I
So
mean,
how would you
I don't have to get
react
angry
under
with
that
them.
situation? How would you react under that situation? You get angry. You hurl bad words towards them?
Maybe I'll just raise my eyebrows and smile. And depending on the gravity of the attack, if there's such an attack. I mean, the comment. But if
Mhm.
there's no, I mean, it's a casual comment, then no need for me to react. If they shout it at me, then I can just be silent and ask maybe if they are in the mood to answer my question. But if
Okay.
not,
So there
I'll just
were,
carry on.
I'm sure, Judge, that there were instances in the past that you have some projects in mind, some matters to attend to, but things didn't conform to your expectations. Do you get? Did you get irritable about it?
I used to be a perfectionist, and
Um,
yes, I used to be. But now I have gone to the level where I can take things as a matter of course
mhm.
without being irritated about it. Because, you know, sometimes nag-change naman ang tao pag
Yeah.
tumatanda na.
Pero that was before, being irritable, that was before.
Yes, I would think so.
And you have improved your character.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
What about aggression on your part when
Well,
things don't conform to your expectations?
there
You
are ways
get
of
angry, not only irritable, but you get angry, you get violent about it.
that's what the karate class is for.
Ah,
That's what the karate class is for. Channel the aggression on the karate.
okay, Judge, my last question.
Yes, sir.
What has been the best idea you have or had come up with during your professional career?
Best idea. It's to take care of my prisoners. I organized a group of prisoners for
Yes.
them to pray the rosary, have a 3 o'clock prayer, and I used to give first Friday masses and every
Mhm.
Friday masses in jail until the COVID pandemic stopped it.
Okay. Okay, Judge, that was my last question.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Judge de Monteverde.
Thank you, Attorney Tali.
Thank you.
The next interviewer is Honorable Justice Noel Jimenez Tiham.
Thank you, Attorney
Good
Tali.
morning, Justice.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning,
How are
Justice.
you today? How are you today?
I'm doing fine, I hope.
You're single. Is this by choice?
Yes, I think so. It's by choice and by circumstances.
Is it an asset or a liability?
I think it is definitely an asset to
A,
be
a
single
judge.
in as a judge.
It's an asset.
Yes, sir. You can spend more time in the office.
All right. I'm just curious. You were asked by Judge de Monteverde about the many cases you inhibited, and you said you wanted uh, that the case be looked at from a
Fresh
new
point of view.
perspective by another magistrate. Now, there are 69 justices in the Court of Appeals. Will you be easily inhibiting yourself from cases if a litigant or a lawyer moves for your inhibition so that the case can be viewed from a different perspective?
I don't think so, Justice, because it would be a group of three in said
Yes, but
it,
if the case is raffled to you and you're not comfortable because one of the parties or one of the lawyers move for your inhibition, will you immediately succumb to to the pressure and influence of the party by inhibiting?
If it's a personal reason, then I might. But if it is a professional reason, then there is no reason for me to inhibit because the fresh eyes will be given by the other justices.
When somebody moves for your inhibition, do you readily accept that you cannot be impartial and so therefore you will inhibit?
Justice, I'm sorry. I am clear in myself that I am neutral and impartial and I did not do anything wrong on the matter. But it is not, I cannot handle how they perceive me. And that is my concern, that they should have justice even in their perception.
But it militates against the mandate that the judge should decide the case without fear or favor, meaning to say, regardless of the opinion of the litigants and the lawyers, regardless of the impression of people, and even regardless of whether your decision is popular or unpopular, you're supposed to decide cases without fear or favor.
I think I have proven myself as capable of deciding cases without fear or favor with the case of Bong Navarro when I decided to grant bail on the accused despite strong popular and media pressure for me not to grant bail.
Now, my point is that's only one case compared to these 15 cases where you inhibited. My point is you have not yet decided these cases on the merits. And in most of these cases, you inhibited because you did not want the litigants and the lawyers to have a wrong impression about you that you cannot decide it impartially. Is that not the case?
Well, considering that I handled 1,000 more cases, and I decided them up to the end, then I would say that having 15 cases, asking for my inhibition is a small number.
Well, there are many cases in the Court of Appeals. You do not have the luxury of time to decide from which cases you should inhibit and which cases you should take into account.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is if you have that frame of mind that if there is an iota of doubt on the part of the litigants that you might not be impartial, you will immediately inhibit. That will not speak well of you as a magistrate, as
Uh,
well as of the court as well.
I'm sorry, but I don't think I have that frame of mind that just because they think that I am partial, I would immediately inhibit. Because there are other cases where the parties used to have bad impression of me and they finally got good impression of me afterwards.
Does it matter whether litigants have a good or bad impression of judges? Should you
Yeah.
be should you be affected by their impression about you? Do you seek accolade or recognition from litigants and judges? You're supposed to be
Yeah.
a blindfolded magistrate,
You
correct?
are right there, Justice. I
All
am
right.
not
So
supposed
I,
to.
I, I, I hope you should not resort to inhibition when you go to the Court of
Yes,
Appeals.
sir.
You became a judge at a very young age. You're only 50 now. You have been in the judiciary for
19,
almost 20 years,
19 years.
So you were about 31 years old when you
I
became a
just
judge.
turned 31 when I became a judge.
You're very lucky. You became a judge at a very young age. I became an RTC judge at the age of 44. I joined the judiciary. So you're very lucky. Has the length of your service in the judiciary imposed upon you a lot of pressures?
Yes,
How
sir.
do you cope? And that begs the question: how do you cope with pressures?
I have a lot of hobbies. I paint, I learn musical instruments, and I have karate. And I have good family. I'm
Mm,
close to my family and my friends, and I travel a lot.
okay,
And I read a lot.
you do read a lot.
Yes, sir.
Are judges who graduated from the University of the Philippines more learned than judges who graduated from other schools?
It's more of having more the common touch. I would think that the difference between us from UP and other schools are that we have the common touch. We know how to deal with the rich and the poor alike.
Is your sense of justice more profound and deep than other judges who graduated elsewhere?
Well, I would say that we have that sense of justice, that there is a need for us to decide cases in a more fair, socially equitable manner.
All right, I'll ask you a question about search warrants. Uh, Judge, is it legal for the police to serve a search warrant against an individual early, very early in the morning? Is that valid and constitutional?
It is a very inconvenient time to serve the search warrant, but it is
That's not
legal
my
for the
question. Is it
yeah,
valid?
but it is legal. But it is legal for the police to serve the search warrant at such time. It is actually a very practical time for the police to do that.
So it's valid. Let's say you
Yes,
serve it
sir.
at about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock early morning. Is it valid
Yes,
in
sir.
your opinion? There are no right and wrong answers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is valid. And
And
it is a very practical service of search warrant because you know that the person will be there at home. But it will be very bad for the person search because he will be, his sleep will be not so good. He will be awakened from a good sleep.
what is your favorite color, Judge?
Red, sir.
Red.
You notice? I love red.
All right. I'll ask you a question connected to that. What is red tagging? What is your understanding of red tagging?
Oh, it's being identified as a communist sympathizer.
How is it different from red baiting? What's it?
It is trying to make the person reveal himself as a red sympathizer or a communist.
So, red tagging is imputing to somebody that he is a member of a communist organization or a terrorist organization. That's red tagging.
Yes, sir.
And red baiting, what would be an example?
You are thinking that that person is a communist and you make a SAR so that the person will reveal himself or herself to be a communist or,
So
frame up.
red baiting is more overt.
Yes,
So you
sir.
persecute, you harass somebody because of his belief.
Mm.
Now, what do you understand by red herring? What is a red herring?
It's a false lead.
Can you give an example?
Uh, maybe there's a serial killer or something that I don't know, a suspect who would give an alibi, maybe a plant of a drugs on an innocent person, something like that.
What about a red notice? What is a red notice?
You are being fired. It's
Is a letter of dismissal written on a red paper?
oh, Well, I don't know. I hope I won't get it.
It's an international word. What do you have any idea? Can you make an educated guess?
International word. Red,
No,
red note.
notice.
Red
Notice.
notice.
Supposing the Philippine government files a case against Joma Season, who is in the Netherlands, and then the Philippine government applies for a red notice. What is a red notice? Can you make an educated guess? I already gave you a hint.
It's more of a search warrant, maybe,
A
or
search.
a notice that
You
the
say we can,
person
the
is a
Philippine
communist.
government can apply for a search warrant in the Netherlands.
It's maybe I noticed that Joma is one of the persons who are in the wanted list. Did I get it right now, Justice?
Almost. Okay, you just look into it after the interview.
Okay.
So, do you think red tagging should be made a criminal offense? In your opinion, there are no right and wrong answers here.
There's no need for that to be done because red tagging can be addressed by merely filing a case libel.
A libel. Is
Yes,
it
sir.
permissible for the police or military or soldiers to have photographs of people who were killed in a skirmish or in a conflict or fatalities of war, like for example, when there is a skirmish between the NPA, CPP, NPA, and the military, and there are people who are killed. Is it permissible? Is it okay to take photographs of the victims who were killed, whether they be soldiers or members of the CPP, NPA?
I don't understand why they would do that. So maybe it's part of the scene of the crime operation, Justice.
So it's
So
permissible to take photographs.
if yeah, if it's part of their administrative records, then and it is not for publication, then they have the right to it. But if it is for publication, that I think that there is a violation of the right to privacy of the dead ones.
Is there an international convention or rule that prohibits the taking of photographs of fatalities, victims of war, skirmishes, to the best of your recollection?
I see a lot of videos and photos of war war zone areas in the international scene. So I think there is no such law.
What do you understand by an immunity passport with respect to the COVID pandemic? Do you have any idea what it is?
It is a diplomatic passport, Justice.
Which
It,
says that you have been vaccinated? Is that what
you
you're saying?
hold diplomatic immunity with diplomatic pouch, and your items
That
are
give you
contact.
access in any country all over the world? Is that what you're saying?
If your country has an embassy there in that country and they have diplomatic relations, then you can go through the customs and the um, go through the airport area, the entire process without any hassle.
Well, a diplomatic passport in that context of the COVID-19 pandemic refers to a policy that was adopted in some European countries, I think Hungary or Bulgaria, in early September. They're willing to open their doors to visitors who have recovered from COVID-19, meaning to say they were positive before, but they recovered, they're now negative. And the reason why they would like to accept them now is because scientifically they think they have already developed the necessary antibodies to kill the virus. So they're no longer a risk for infection or transmission. Do you think that should be adopted by
No,
countries all over the world?
no, I don't think so, Justice, because there have been cases reported of a recurrence in the infection of previously infected people. And I was told that there has been a mutation in the COVID virus. So that is not a safe policy.
Once a vaccine is available, are you willing to be vaccinated, Judge?
I will see other people, I will see first if other people are safe when they took the vaccine. I will not be the first to line up with the vaccination because there are a lot of side effects in the
Who told
vaccination.
you that there are side effects? Media.
Because I read a report in
You read
Sweden
it.
about, I think it's SARS or SARS, I think. They had a 60% vaccination in Sweden, and they were traumatized because 40% of that 60% got narcolepsy. So that's a very big side effect. And so now they are not willing to take any vaccinations during this COVID-19. So
Did you also read the report that the wearing of a mask does not really prevent infection or transmission of the virus?
no, sir. I have not read that report.
Philippines is more than 90% compliant with the wearing of the mask and face shield. We're the only one implementing face shield. And the United States is also compliant with the wearing of the mask, and yet the rate of infection goes up. So, in your opinion, I'm not asking for your scientific opinion, but as a magistrate, do you think there is scientific basis for the wearing of a mask to make it mandatory?
As they said, they defined the coronavirus as a as a virus taken through the air, transmitted from oral transmission. So it is not a transmission through air by skin. So if it is an oral transmission, then maybe a mask is and a face shield, if you want, maybe good for the population.
Will washing of the hands using alcohol kill the virus?
Well, hopefully,
Yeah.
sir. Hopefully so. Otherwise, it will be for naught. All these,
Why,
all these sacrifices.
why look for a vaccine? Why not drink alcohol to kill the virus?
I like that.
All right, my last question is this, because we don't have much time anymore. The UK government, they already implemented the vaccine in the United Kingdom, but they granted the pharma company, Pfizer, legal immunity from being sued. If that situation, if that condition is allowed here in the Philippines, will that condition imposed by the pharmaceutical company valid and constitutional?
I don't think that it is a valid and constitutional condition because it will actually put a question mark on the validity of their vaccination. If they would put that kind of condition, then we should actually not take that vaccine. They are
So
not
we
confident
just
of their
reject
vaccine.
the vaccine.
Excuse me, sir.
We should reject. The president should
Yes,
reject the vaccine.
because they are not confident of their own vaccine. So why should we be confident of their vaccine?
So if all the pharma companies are asking for immunity from prosecution clause and we are not willing to give it to them, we might as well reject the vaccine. That's what you're saying.
Yes, because that is not a vaccine at all.
That's
That
not
is
a,
a placebo.
a placebo.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Thank you, Judge, and
Thank you,
good luck.
Justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Justice Tiham. The next interviewer is Honorable Judge Duribio E. Ilaw Jr.
Yes, thank you, Tony and Ting.
Good morning,
But my
Justice.
internet still having problem with my internet. Yes, yes. Good morning.
Good
Yes,
morning, Justice.
yes. Good morning, Judge. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. I
At,
hope.
I hope. And
Yes,
you were previously interviewed for Court of Appeals on April 12, 2018. Am I
yes,
correct?
sir.
Why do you think you were not shortlisted and appointed?
Hmm, maybe I lack the qualifications.
Lack of qualification. You're
Maybe.
overqualified.
Oh, thank you.
And what did you do to address this? That's only the reason? Lack
I
of
well, I
qualification.
I assume, and I have no other basis to think otherwise. So I just work some more and try to develop my personality some more.
Mentioning about your personality, because previous questions were asked by my colleagues with respect to your personalities.
Yes, yes, sir.
Do you consider yourself impulsive?
No, I don't think I am impulsive.
By the way, what is your reputation in the office?
uh, with my staff or with fellow colleagues or with the lawyers. I think I have a strict reputation.
How would your colleagues and subordinates describe you, both positive and negative?
I think they would describe me as strict, both positive and negative. So, I mean, it can be bad for me and for them that I am strict and, well, I seem to have a high standard.
And what changes have you made in working with others to be more effective at work?
Well, I first of all I dealt with myself. Um, got some meditations and some annual retreats, and got more spiritual. And then I organized my work, and I focused on my work, and I did not focus. I don't focus on other things anymore.
What motivates you?
I simply doing a good job is something that motivates me. I like doing good things. I like having a harmonious environment at work, a harmonious environment at home.
And what frustrates you?
Well, when things are delayed, maybe, I mean, pandemic, coronavirus, right?
Pandemic.
It actually tests our patience, and it actually helps in making us more patient.
What does a perfect day look to you?
Having a good breakfast, waking up early, having a good breakfast, going to office, and having good relationship, good music at work, and everything is having decided 10 cases in one day.
In cases in one day.
Yes, and having fun while doing that. And yeah, that's perfect. You all your agenda for the day, you finished it.
And I also heard that you're still single. How is single blessedness? Quoting Saint, what's that saint? Who's that saint?
Saint Teresa, Saint Teresa of Calcutta or Saint Teresa of Avila. Well, it's single blessedness is being too blessed to be stressed.
Alright, is there one case you have handled or decided that has affected you the most?
Yeah, it's the Bong Navarro case, very high profile media publicity and pressure.
Why do you call it the hardest calls to handle or to
Yeah,
make?
because it tested my integrity, it tested my ability to handle frustration and my sense of neutrality. Yes, my probity. So that was a real hurdle. That was a real baptism of fire.
And also, I also heard that you are a blue one in Taekwondo.
After 8 years, justice. So finally, after 8 years.
How did you earn or obtain it? Because in karate, you have to start with white, white belt.
Can I show you my proof?
No, I don't doubt it.
I managed to, yeah, this is my proof.
I love that lack of time of this.
I did this with my elbow.
So blue belt.
Yes, sir.
Because in karate, you still have to start with white, green,
Yellow.
no green, then brown, black, and done. So in the taekwondo, you have to start with what?
We started with white, then
White.
yellow, then green, and now blue. And we will be going to red, brown, and black.
So blue, did you obtain it through a tournament?
No, through the splitting of the block in half to test.
What is the doctrine of qualified political agency?
Qualified political agency is the power given to a branch of the government, executive branch of the government, to exercise uh, executive power.
Otherwise known as alternative alter ego doctrine.
The yes, the power exercised by the cabinet ministers, secretaries, cabinet secretaries, in behalf of the president.
Are the actions performed by cabinet members in their ex officio capacities considered as the acts of the president in line with the doctrine of qualified political agency?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yes, sir. Because they are the alter egos of the president. The president cannot do all the work that is needed to be done. So each cabinet secretary have the power to act in his behalf.
But as I said, the question is in their ex officio capacities.
Yes, in their official duties.
Correct. You mentioned that your court is a regular court, a special court, so and so.
Drugs court.
All right. A judgment of acquittal is final and immediately executory.
Yes, sir.
The Supreme Court, however, allowed a review from such judgment through what petition?
Certiorari, petition for certiorari
Under what rule?
under Rule 65 for grave abuse of discretion
And the question is,
amounting to lack of jurisdiction. Hello? Yes.
yes, and then the question is, did the court allows the petition for review? For what reason?
That there might be an excess of jurisdiction in the finding of acquittal. It is not a review on the judgment itself, but on the exercise of jurisdiction of the judge.
Do you consider that as one of the exceptional circumstances?
For what, Justice?
Would it be
For exceptional circumstances for the review of an acquittal? Yes, sir.
yes. Was it rather the prosecution was denied of due process?
Well, that would be part of it. When the judge is accused of acting in excess of jurisdiction, that would mean that he or she would have been deemed to have acted beyond, of depriving the prosecution the right to due process.
But you graduated from University of the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
And you belong to the sorority of Portia.
Yes, sir.
What is your takeaway from the ruling of Republic versus Sereno?
No, I'm sorry, I am not familiar with that case, sir.
So what case or cases are you familiar?
Not
The recent one.
Natra Farm case. It's a trademark case.
About the case of involving Philsat.
No,
the
sir.
Case of Pimentel.
The Cine case. I'm not
How
familiar.
did the court pass upon the constitution of Philsat? Not aware of this.
No, not aware of it, sir.
Pimentel versus Legal Education Board.
I don't think so. I am
Yes,
not
Judge.
familiar. I am not familiar with. I don't remember the titles of cases, Justice. So, so I'm not sure if I am familiar with that case.
All right, my last question. Relax. Take a deep breath. Yes, smile. All right. Before Mount Everest was discovered, which is the highest mountain in the world?
Mount Everest is discovered. Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
Oh,
And
correct.
All right, thank you. That was my last question.
Tumawa ako
And good luck
doon.
again.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank
Okay,
you,
to
thank
your
you.
journey.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tony Tali. I'm done.
Attorney Tally.
Tony Lea at wala.
Hello, good morning, Justice.
Attorney Tally.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Judge Ilaw. The next interviewer is the JBC Executive Committee Chairperson, the Honorable Jose Catral Mendoza. Justice Mendoza.
Ay, good afternoon. Afternoon na, no? Afternoon na.
Good noon, Justice.
Good noon.
Good noon.
Oh. I have been observing you.
Hello?
Justice. Justice Mendoza. Wait, just a minute, Judge Cortez.
Hindi kami nawala, ano?
Hindi po. We will just fix Justice Mendoza's internet connection. Justice Mendoza.
Naputol, oo.
Okay na po, Justice. Thank you.
Okay na, oo.
Okay, Justice.
You heard what I,
No, sir. No, I did
my
not.
my earlier statement. I said I have
You have been
observing you from the beginning, and you have been always smiling. So you have a happy disposition.
Well, I hope.
Am I correct to conclude that?
Well, I think I inherited my father's smile. So
I see.
it was easy for us to smile.
Oh, you're always smiling, but I'm just curious, why still single? You were asked that earlier. You said by choice.
And by circumstances, Justice, I
I see.
focused on my work.
I see.
Focused on my
I
work.
think one circumstance is that you're a blue belter. Takot sila lumapit sa'yo.
Sorry, Justice. Even before that, Justice, I was already intimidating.
See. Oo. I read your answers to the essay I gave you. Your view is that the government to the IATF may restrict religious attendance of people for purposes of addressing the coronavirus pandemic. So, have you read the Supreme Court decision in similar cases in the United States?
I'm sorry, Justice, I did not.
In California, the California governor restricted the number of attendees in a church due to the pandemic, and the church affected went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court sustained the governor of California. New York also did that. They restricted the number of churches in New York. The Catholic Church went to the Supreme Court and obtained a different ruling. It says the restriction infringes on the religious belief of and the way they exercise their belief on the church. In the context of Philippine laws, what is your view?
The Constitution provides for the right to religious freedom.
Yes.
And that's under the Constitution. And so that means that any exercise of religion should not be prohibited, but it may be restricted with due nod to the equal protection clause in case of extraordinary circumstances, public safety, public concern, national security, I guess. And this would constitute as one of the cases where the freedom of religious expression may be restricted, but not prohibited.
What is the policy of our courts with respect to religious freedom? What do they follow?
There's the
You can get it.
yes, it is to no. There's freedom to express
Your,
your faith.
what is the policy of the state, or as initiated in our decision, or the courts, limited to the courts? What is the policy of the courts with respect to religious freedom? What do our courts follow?
What I can remember is the flag ceremony where the Supreme Court.
No. Yes, you're referring to Ebranilag, right?
I
You
don't
remember?
remember the name,
Ebranilag,
sir,
okay.
but I just know that
Jehovah's Witness,
yes, sir, yes,
Ebranilag
sir,
case. Oh,
yes,
now what
and
is that? What is the policy of the courts there? What is their approach?
I think the
What
decision
do
there.
they apply? What theory?
Uh, I'm sorry, I forgot the theory, but I know what I know is that they.
What is the theory? I will help you remember the theory. What is the theory? Although you
Uh,
forgot the term, you can explain it.
the Jehovah's Witnesses were allowed to not attend flag
I'm not
ceremony.
referring to that. Yeah, I'm referring to all cases. Yeah, I'll be specific.
I'm sorry.
Oh, the Estrada versus Escritor.
Is that the case where the
Sa court
married,
employee.
yes,
Court
married
employee. Yes.
Supreme
What
Court
is the
employees
theory?
were allowed to take an oath of cohabitation, was it, even though they were already
Take
married?
oath of cohabitation.
That was 10 years ago. I don't know exactly the
But you attend seminars by the Philja, correct? They are
yes, sir.
periodic
But
seminars. Oh.
so they were
Oh.
allowed. They were allowed.
What is that Estrada versus Escritor? What was the theory? That
I
may be an old case. Well, you not really old because you were there in the Supreme Court, I think, with Justice Jabilio.
yes, sir.
What was that? What is that case? What?
They were. There was a.
It was reiterated in the case of
It,
Ochoa,
it was an administrative
Imbong
case.
versus Ochoa. What is the theory of the government or the state or the approach adopted by the courts?
The state could not interfere on the religious beliefs of the person.
Yeah, was the separation of church and state.
Yes,
Now
separation of the church and state.
that is not the theory.
Okay.
I
I'm
will
sorry.
mention it.
Separation of the church and state. Yes.
No, that is not what I was asking. The theory was pronounced in Strada Escritor versus Stratus, the benevolent neutrality theory. Now you remember, it was reiterated in Imbong versus Ochoa. Okay? Oh,
Uh,
oh,
no,
very recent also.
I'm not familiar with the
Oh,
benevolent.
those
I'm
were
sorry.
the subjects of your lectures in the field. Yeah.
I uh, I just remember that they were allowed to practice their faith despite the state interest. So in that,
Okay,
Escritor,
okay. Generally, uh, the uh, the the state is hands off the affairs of the state. and how they
Leave the religious
yes, the state is for what is the limit? Is that rule absolute or there is a limitation?
Well, if it hurts another person or its state interest, then there would be no hands-off policy on the religious belief of
What do you call
that person.
what do you call that? What do you call that term?
Public welfare,
No, what
uh,
you studied that?
primordial interest of the state.
No, no.
We started with that.
You started. You did you not study that at Miriam International Studies? No,
Oh,
no,
I
in
remember.
UP. But you were already in the Supreme Court at that time. You stayed in Aklan lang for a short time.
During my childhood, yes,
Yes.
sir.
No, when you were a judge also, when you were a judge. So
Yes, I was there.
you should remember these terms. What do you call that? You said the church, in your answer, may restrict the religious attendance of the people. What do you call that exception when the church can restrict the attendance? Or
That the
yes,
state
what do you call
can
what do you call that when the what do you call that limitation?
public welfare.
Well, now we have no time. You are hungry.
I'm sorry, sorry.
Compelling state interest.
Yes, compelling state interest. My
Yes.
gosh, I'm sorry. Compelling
Compelling
state
state
interest.
interest. Now,
Yes,
you answered earlier about
compelling state
inoculation.
interest.
Can the state mandate compulsory inoculation on the population?
Compelling state interest.
Yes, for COVID inoculation against COVID.
Well, if there is no contract as the Pfizer contract, then the state can mandate uh, inoculation by reason of compelling state interest. But if there is a caveat on the contract with the vaccine provider, then there is no compelling state interest for that inoculation.
Suppose the interest is to prevent you from infecting others because there are asymptomatics. You do not know if you have it or not, right?
Yes, sir.
Symptomatics, you do not know. So the state to prevent uh, the spread of the disease mandated compulsory inoculation. Can the state do that?
Yes, sir.
So a person cannot refuse. It's my right to be infected. It's my right to commit suicide.
Because you're right, to be infected, to commit suicide might affect the right of the other person to live.
So it's your view that COVID, the inoculation of COVID vaccine can be ordered by the
The state.
by the state.
With the caveat, justice, that there
No.
should be no disclaimer, no waiver of any side effects
Yes, yes,
by
yes,
the provider.
yes. Because if there is disclaimer, you cannot force. I heard your discussion earlier.
Yes, sir.
I'm reading your essay number 5. You wrote that there is no transfer of decision-making power from the legislative branch of the government to the court when the court decides a case of first impression because the law had gaps. When a court does so, she is simply exercising her job. This is so required in the civil code. What is the provision in the civil code?
It's the first 29 articles of the Civil Code.
No, first 29
Yes, just
article.
before the
Human relations
yes,
covered yan. Covered.
it's just before the human relations portion of the Civil Code, and also it is stated also in the Constitution.
Yeah, what is the nature in the civil code? What is the nature of judicial decision?
Nature of the judicial
Oh, you mentioned lang kanina first 29 articles. Oh, what is the provision there covering judicial decision?
It states the
Hmm.
statutory construction. Then it states the number of days, how to compute, and
Not
then the
this. Oh,
duties of a judge, and how.
no. Judicial decisions.
Yes,
Hmm.
we are supposed to decide, um, even if we are supposed to decide on the facts and the
No,
law.
I'm referring to Article 8. Judicial
Can I?
decisions. No, just judicial decisions applying or interpreting the laws or the Constitution.
Forms
What
part of the
is
law of the land.
forms part of the law of the land?
Yes, I remember.
You remember now. So judicial decisions, can the courts can forms part of the law of the land.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure of that?
Yes, sir.
It forms part of the law of the land. Our decisions forms part of the law of the land. You mean to
Yes,
say
sir.
the courts can by their decisions legislate forms part of the law of the land.
Yeah, they fill up the gaps in the law, and it is our decisions would affect the people, so it would be, yeah,
Yeah, yes. So
it forms part of the
you're
law.
you're 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 sure. Okay, you go to Article 8 and read it.
Can I read the Article 8?
Yes. No. Yes.
Okay.
Article 8, judicial decisions.
Article 8 of the Civil Code.
Hmm.
Legal system.
Forms part of the law
Okay,
of the land.
judicial decisions applying, interpreting the laws or the Constitution shall form a part of the legal system of the
Is
Philippines.
that do they
Bumagsak yata ako dito.
do they
It shall
become
form part of the legal system of the Philippines.
malaking
I
bagay.
so
What is the difference between the
I
two?
I so uh, part of the legal system, it means that it is not the law, it is just the jurisprudence.
It's not the law.
uh, and yeah, legal system. It's part of the legal system. It is an interpretation of the law, and but it is not the law itself.
Continue. Where did you get that? It forms part of the law of the land.
I think.
You think? What do you think?
I think I was not thinking.
You were not thinking.
I was just
Now,
remembering phrase of the
I see.
phrase.
You got it from thin air. Now, where did you get it? That is now my question. It forms part of the law of the land. Where did you get it?
Where did I get it?
Yes.
It was my impression. It was
Your
my
impression that it is the law of the it becomes
No, not
the law of the
actually
land.
the law,
Oo.
It is part of the legal system of
Legal
the
system.
Philippines.
So, oh, you forgot already?
Justice, 25 years.
Oh, you recall your stay in Miriam. You studied international studies. You took up international studies. I will help you.
International law forms part of the law of the land.
Okay. So, kung di ko pa paalala, hindi nyo pa maano. It's in
Hindi
the
na,
Constitution. Oh,
it's in the
kung di ko
Constitution.
pa. Oh.
It is not part of my first impression lang pala.
Oh, hindi. You studied it sa Miriam pa, and then you studied it in the College of Law.
Meron pala at the back of my mind.
Oh, and then your answer, the media had no right to discontinue the alleged tirade of President Trump. Or, wag na si Trump, sa US yun eh. Kunyari, our president. Why? Why do you say this?
Because it is assumed that all the presidential pronouncements are of great importance. There's a
Suppose
need
it's just a private organization, media organization. They do not want to cover. Can you compel them to cover?
Yes. Yes.
You can. You can.
Yes.
You can. Can you compare, for example, Rappler? They want to not cover the president at all. So can you compel Rappler to carry the statements of the president?
As I see it, Justice, as I see it, you are invited.
No, you're not invited.
Okay. Okay.
You're just a private organization.
Any media organization has the choice to go or not to go, invited or uninvited, to any media gathering of the president.
And they can choose what to print. They can choose what to print.
But once there, they cannot just cut off the announcement of
under the Constitution, it's the freedom of the press.
Yes, but there is also the freedom of expression and the freedom of and the right of the public to know what is happening.
Of the public. But there are other media outlets.
Information.
Oh, but there are other media outlets. This is a private organization. Can you compel it? Kung gusto nila isnabin, ignore.
You cannot ask them to...
They have the freedom of the press, right?
Yes, sir.
They have the right of the freedom of the press. So you're changing your answer?
I still think that they should. They should broadcast in full.
They should, in full.
Yeah.
No. They completely ignore it. Kung not in full, baka
but they can
quoting out of context yun eh. Pero yung suppose they ignore.
I think they have a right to do that.
They have the right to do that. So you're changing your answer. Now, yung freedom of expression, very basic. Yeah, you remember even when you were in the Supreme Court, UP, freedom of expression. What are the essential elements of the freedom of expression?
I don't seem to remember a lot. I don't remember.
You don't. I'll give you one. It's freedom from prior restraint. What is the other one?
Censorship.
That's freedom of prior restraint. What is the other one? I'm helping you. I'm always helping you.
Can you have some more, Justice?
There are only two. If I give the other one,
I have all the answers.
Yes, I gave you one na
it should not be libelous.
That it refers to the restrictions. Okay, the essential elements are one. First is the freedom from prior restraint. And two, freedom from subsequent punishment. So now you remember your constitutional law.
Kawawa naman ang professor ko.
Bakit kawawa ang professor mo?
Napapahiya siya ngayon.
He did not teach you?
Well,
we go to the
he tried his best.
okay.
He tried his best.
Okay. We are now. You mentioned restraints. What are the two major restraints in the freedom of expression of speech?
Censorship and major restraints.
What are the two general restraints, the limitations?
Penalty. So it's libel. The law on libel.
How did the Supreme Court categorize it? The two restrictions. So only two. I'll give you one again. Oh,
Okay.
hear it.
Hear it.
Content-based restriction or regulation. That is one. What is the other? Now you can easily answer it.
The medium of communication.
No, the restrictions. The general term for that content-based. What do you call the other?
Content-based.
Yes. I will help you. That was in the case of Diocese of Bacolod versus Comelec.
Was that the separation against separating the state and the church?
No.
The church was not supposed to compete.
We are at the freedom of expression.
Okay.
No, not separation of state. We covered that already.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
You're not familiar? Hindi tinuro sa UP?
Wawa naman just professor ko. Napapahiya siya.
It's the, one is content neutral. So the other one is the content based. So the other one is content neutral restriction. Okay, remember now?
Okay.
Now, content based, it refers to the content of your expression, of your speech, right? Whether it's libelous or not, those are the restraints. When you say content neutral restraints, what are they? Very easy. Binigay ko ng lahat.
Content neutral.
Yes.
Content neutral.
You forgot?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Bakit? What is happening?
Baka kulang ako ng coffee, Justice.
Coffee. Okay. We are going to the Court of Appeals. Doon na lang. Huwag na yung baka nakalimutan mo na. But let us look to the future.
Yes, sir.
Nakaraan na yun eh. I will look to the future. What are the three main categories officially recognized by the Court of Appeals, where the Court of Appeals can allow reception of evidence? Three main categories.
When there are questions of facts, and when there is no other speedy recall, redress situation.
Almost all cases brought to the Court of Appeals, there is questions of fact. Do you conduct a hearing?
I think it is usually
No, what are the three main lahat? Generally, sasabihin nyo, it's discretionary on the part of the
yes,
justices. Pero what are the three where they can be allowed? Hindi na discretionary. Oh. You're looking forward. Nakalimutan mo na kasi yung past. Eh. You're applying in the Court of Appeals. Looking forward to the Court of Appeals. A case has been brought before you. Sabi na isindigan. We are moving that the court allow us or the parties to adduce evidence in an oral argument. Oh. Sa daming sa Court of Appeals, will you allow reception of evidence?
if it's a
Hindi
case
ba ang Court of Appeals, you just review
yes,
what
sir.
are in the records?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
If it's a case,
okay.
if it's a case of first impression,
pag first impression, you hear what? First impression sa questions of fact o
and
questions of law?
law.
Law, oh. Pagka purely questions of law, dapat sa Supreme Court yun.
Well, my jurisdiction, the Court of Appeals has jurisdiction on some subject matter regarding questions of law.
Saan yun? Well,
Certiorari,
yung exclusive, there are two original jurisdiction. Oh, exclusive ba yan? Referring to exclusive original jurisdiction of the Court of Appeals?
Certiorari, mandamus, and prohibition.
I'm asking about jurisdiction.
The jurisdiction, original justice?
Yes. Exclusive.
Parang no.
No, there are none. There are none.
All
concurrent. All concurrent.
Yes, concurrent.
No original.
I cannot think of any original jurisdiction of the Court of Appeals.
You review your court, your rules of court. Look at Rule 47, annulment of judgment.
Of the RTC.
Yes, see? So yes, what are the grounds? So kayang-kaya mo yan. What are the grounds?
47.
What are the grounds?
Can I look through? No?
You remember now. Ay, sige, ako na magsasabi. Jurisdiction and extrinsic fraud. There are only two grounds.
Extrinsic fraud.
Yes. There are only two grounds.
When the court had been deceived on some issues of facts.
When the court is deceived
on some issues of facts
or the other party.
Yes, sir.
That's extrinsic fraud. Now, what is intrinsic fraud? Intrinsic.
The subject. The extrinsic is
intrinsic.
It's a lie in the cause of action.
A lie in the cause of action. Talaga? A lie in the cause of action.
There has to be a deception somewhere. There's a deception.
What is the distinction then? How do you distinguish it from the other? There is parehong fraud, di ba? Parehong fraud. Yung isa extrinsic, yung isa intrinsic. How do you differentiate one from the other?
The extrinsic fraud is the procedural aspect of the case.
Procedural. Yung intrinsic hindi procedural.
Well, I think so. I hope so.
You should review your Rule 47. Muna, hindi ko pa nakakalimutan yun. Yes. What are the three instances when the Court of Appeals is allowed to receive evidence? The 3 instances.
Uh,
You have no
that
lunch bag.
one,
Oh, you give me one, okay na yung dalawa. Ako na.
the
Kanina ako nagbibigay ng isa, ngayon magbigay ka ng isa.
So hindi nakapasa yung first impression justice and
Hindi,
the
No.
petition for review on the judgment.
Sige, baka gutom ka na. One is where the court exercises original jurisdiction. 2, in civil cases where there is newly discovered evidence. 3, in criminal cases where there is newly discovered evidence. And yung isa nakasama sa criminal cases where there is need to prove damages in case of provisional remedies. Okay, you review your rules, Judge. So,
Yes.
anyway, tagal na kayo sa court. Ito, madali na lang ito. I will not go, ano na lang. You've been in the Supreme Court, what is a pro hac vice decision?
For the moment.
What do you mean by that?
Only for that case. The
will
ruling
not,
only applicable on that case, on that situation.
So it will not form part of the legal system.
It will still, I think it will form part of the legal system, Justice.
When it forms part, of the legal system, you can quote it. The decisions there, the interpretation.
Yes, sir.
Sabi nyo for this case only.
Well, you can quote it as a citation that your case is similar to that case which was decided pro hac vice.
Okay.
So there is still some value on that jurisprudence.
Okay. Hindi pa rin, kumusta yung coffee? Kulang coffee. Ito, simple na lang ito. A litigant lost in the Court of Appeals. Marami pa akong tanong sa labor. Marami pa sana akong tanong pero no more time. Now, he went to the Court of Appeals. Dismissed the Court of Appeals because he was not able to submit all the requirements. So, because the appeal was dismissed, or the petition for certiorari was dismissed, can he go to the Supreme Court and claim abuse of discretion and file a petition for certiorari under Rule 65?
If it was a lack of compliance with the requirements, he cannot go to the Supreme Court.
There is no cannot invoke grave abuse of discretion.
I would think that there is no lack of discretion on the
So,
abuse of
what is the remedy? No more remedy. Dismiss na.
Well, motion for reconsideration.
That is before the CA. Sa Supreme Court, sabi niyo, hindi pwede petition for certiorari under Rule 65 for dismissing his petition from the Nlrc.
Yeah, the Court of Appeals would have jurisdiction to dismiss his petition.
Yes, it has the power to dismiss.
Yes,
no problem. That is not the issue. What is the remedy? He's not allowed. Is he allowed to go to the Supreme Court on a 65 petition? Sabi niyo kanina, hindi pwede.
Well, it would be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction, but he can try.
He can try. No, also, what is allowed?
Well, if the Court of Appeals acted outside of its jurisdiction, then they can file certiorari.
We assume that it has the power to dismiss. Kasi it did not comply with the requirements, so dismiss yung petition. Yes. So what is the remedy of the petitioner? Sabi niyo, hindi pwede Rule 65 petition in the Supreme Court.
Appeal?
Appeal? You appeal a dismissal?
No, yeah, certiorari nga.
Certiorari? Are you sure? Under Rule
Well,
65?
hindi naman pwedeng mag-appeal justice, diba? So, you just allege lack of jurisdiction even if there is jurisdiction.
You allege when there is the court, you file the case, you file the petition with the Court of Appeals, and then say it has no jurisdiction. You were the one who sought the jurisdiction of the Court of Appeals. You went there, and then you
Acted
will say,
outside of the jurisdiction, in excess
no.
of the jurisdiction when they dismissed your petition.
So, sige, review your what you said.
So, the dismiss based on jurisdictional, not dismiss on lack of jurisdictional compliance.
Or failure to comply with the requirements. So, earlier you said hindi pwede ang Rule 65 petition. So, what is the remedy? Kawawa naman.
Di ba sila can they not file a motion for reconsideration?
Yeah, they can file a motion
can,
for reconsideration with the Court of Appeals. Suppose denied ng Court of Appeals. What is the remedy? Ayaw nyo talaga ng 65 petition for grave abuse of discretion.
I think that would matter now after the MR had already been denied.
You're changing your answer.
It seems that I am changing my answer with Youth Justice.
You're changing your answer. So, you are now allowing a petition for certiorari under Rule 65. You are now allowing. Kanina ayaw
There
mo.
is no other remedy.
There's no other remedy.
Available.
No other remedy available. Hindi rin pwede ang 65 petition.
Would seem so.
It would seem so.
Yeah.
You change your answer? Suppose, hindi na technicality. He was able to submit all the requirements. The case was decided on the merits. What is the remedy?
45.
Denied na CA, 45.
45.
Can you not apply that 45 petition in the first instance where it was dismissed? Where his petition was dismissed for failure to...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because the petition was a final order already, so it was 45.
So you're going to change you're going to change your opinion na?
I forgot the number, Justice.
What
45.
number?
45.
45. Not certiorari.
Yes, sir.
Hindi ba interlocutory order lang yun?
It's already a final dismissal of the case. So after the MR, it's a final dismissal of the case. Then we can already petition for review on the 45.
Yeah, hindi ka na nahihilo ngayon. Sigurado ka na.
Uy, tumama ba ako, Justice?
Palagay ko meron pang natirang coffee. Oo.
Kahit
that will be all, Judge.
Thank you, thank you.
Your excuse unless you want to continue pa, marami pang topic.
Have a good lunch, Justice.
Sige. Okay, thank you very much, Judge. You are excused. You were correct do sa huli. Pero do sa una.
Naalala ko bigla yung 45, buti na lang.
Buti na lang. Sa huli. Pero do sa una, hindi. Kalimutan. Pinaghalo-halo nyo yung pinag-aralan nyo sa international studies. Oo.
Oo.
Ginawa pa niyo yung it forms part of the law of the land. Oo.
Kawawa ang mga professors ko. Kawawa sila. Kawawa sila sa akin ngayon.
Oo. Oo. Professors niyo sa UP.
And sa Meridol.
Meron na
Oo.
lang.
Wow.
Oo. Sige, thank you very
Thank
much,
you,
Judge.
Justice.
So,
Thank you.
best of luck. Oo.
Thank you. Salamat po.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge Cortez.
Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you, Justice Mendoza. That concludes the public panel interviews for this morning. We will resume at 2 o'clock.